Anybody got a problem with that? Yeah, my business is my business. Who's guilty? Can I get a witness? First things first, the chocolate starfish is my man Fred Durst. Access Hollywood license to kill a redneck fucker from Jacksonville. Bringing on the dumpster funk, a microphone machetes in the back of my trunk. Rockin' so steady with the he says, she says. And don't forget about the starfish navigation system. Don't hate me, I'm just an alien with 37 tons of new millennium. Dum diddy dum, where's it coming from? Mrs. Aguilera, come and get some. Oh no, which way to go? Through the dance flow, it's super stereo. Pay me no mind, I seen the Fight Club about 28 times. And I'ma keep my pants sagging, keep a skateboard, a spray can for the tagging. And I'ma keep a lot of girls on my bandwagon, cause I don't give a fuck, living life in the fast lane. I'm just a crazy motherfucker, living it up, not giving a fuck, living life in the fast lane. Another crazy motherfucker, living it up, not giving a fuck, in the fast lane. Take two, now who's the star sucker? I'm the
Gotta turn that off.
silly
Have to turn that off, I'm afraid. It's
a
a particularly apt song for... the webcam isn't even switched on. 1 second. The webcam is now back on. A particularly apt song for the episode of choice at this moment in time. The episode being Computer Chronicles Season 4, Episode 15. The Fast Lane. Bit of spit at the side of the mouth there. The Fastlane Intel 386 microprocessor, which was a pretty big deal back in the day. I don't remember it. It's too far back in time, but it seems as though it was a big deal, a big leap in computational power. No doubt Stu's going to lay out the red carpet and lay out the table, should I say, and provide a veritable feast of computational information related to the microchip with brilliant guests as usual for this time of day, which is an afternoon session of the stew. I have decided not to go with the bombastic fucking kicking the shit out of a chair intro with the usual music, but I did give you the bit of Limp Bizkit there just to kind of wet the whistle and to get the excitement bubbling. Although, I mean, you don't really need much more than a shot of Stu himself, I find, to really get things moving along. So if we can just hit play on this one, the Fast Lane, and I, for one, I'm quite excited to see what level of speed they managed to achieve. Joey the Lips, thank you very much for your tip there. And Tupo for your tip as well, who said, Dream, you built a theme park and a bunch of viewers died, so you went on the run. There's a few Resi games you haven't played. There is a few Resi games. There are a few. I mean, maybe at some stage they will be delved into. The new one is going to be coming out in February. I seen the thing about it, the trailer. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Brilliant.
It took about a 20th of a second.
Holy shit. That is, that's an interesting... I mean, as the intros go, a man unloading a fucking revolver round into a dummy or whatever, a shooting range. It's pretty hardcore. Stu doesn't even have the earmuffs on. Let me just get set up there so I can see everything. I can see there's a chat going there. Yep, beautiful stuff. I could do that. I'll put that there. And that's great for me. Thank you. Thank you very much there, Schnuffles, for the tip. Beautiful. Get rid of this fucking show. 4 hours of Chopin. Get rid of that. Still there. You're still there, Chopin.
It took about a 20th of a second for the bullet to get from the barrel of that gun to the target. That's pretty fast. But in that same 20th of a second, this 8386 microprocessor from Intel can perform 200,000 calculations. That's pretty fast, too. Today, we're going to take a look at the whole new generation of 386-based machines computing in the fast lane on this edition of the...
He does. He has... I thought he didn't have the fucking ear protectors in, but he does have these little foam ones that would... He'd have to mold into his ear shape and then wedge into his ear canal. You can see how happy he is with that as well, with that intro link. It's brilliant stuff. And just the reassuring
this 8386
eyebrow
microprocessor
raise.
from...
He's the master of this. Just keep an eye on this right side, his left eyebrow.
Intel can perform 200,000...
There we go. And that's the hit of the century, the feel-good hit of the summer right there. It's June 9th, 2025. And that's the feel-good hit of this year right there. It's cheeky.
1,000 calculations. That's pretty fast, too. Today, we're going to take a look at the whole new generation of 386-based machines computing in the fast lane on this edition of the Computer Chronicles.
I forgot it's not the hype of the later series, so I can't really go insane to this music because it's very whimsical. It's got like kind of electronic music from computer times, from the 70s, from the 80s in it. It's not like a real pulsating hard beat of the 90s.
Makers
but
of
look
IBM
at this leading edge
computer systems, including Lotus lookalike spreadsheet, word processing with spelling correction, communication software, and Hayes-compatible 1200 baud modem. The Computer Chronicles is made possible by Leading Edge, makers of IBM-compatible computer systems, including Lotus lookalike spreadsheet, word processing with spelling correction, communication software, and Hayes-compatible 1200 baud modem. Leading Edge with over 1,000 service centers nationwide. Additional funding is provided by McGraw-Hill, publishers of Byte. Byte's detailed technical articles on new hardware, software, and languages cover developments in computer technology.
Have you heard that little like an 8? Is that an 808 drum machine back in the day?
Worldwide on new hardware, software. McGraw-Hill, publishers of Byte. Byte's detailed technical articles on new hardware, software, and languages cover developments in computer technology worldwide.
I don't know, and that's sensational as well. Just this darkened studio room with Stu and Gary Kildall. Or maybe not. It doesn't look like Gary. Maybe it's a different figure. Kinky John Fowler, thank you very much there for the tip. It's a casino keyboard, a Casio, preset number 8, CR78 there, says Bag of Boxes. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us on this stream here, Bag of Boxes. And Ratman, thank you very much there for the tip there. Look at this.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles.
The two of them ready to pounce when the lights go up. The show begins, and I wonder who calls that. Do they know that that's happening, or does Stu make that himself? Does he make that happen himself? And we can see there it's herself. I think her name is Jan Moyers or Jan. I don't know, but Stu's a happy man. He's with Jan.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee. Gary Kildall is off working. George Morrow's away, so with me today is Jan Lewis, who is also president of the Palo Alto Research Group. Jan, this is what the fuss is all about, the 8386 microprocessor from Intel. Now, no real operating system, no real software yet people are waiting in line to buy computers with a 386 in it. More talk about it than probably anything since the IBM PC came out. Is this a lot of hype, or is this really a major development in personal computers?
Oh, this is not just hype, Stuart. This is a quantum leap in personal computers. Right now, people are standing in line to get these systems just for the...
She's very direct as Jan, and she's got a very powerful mouth. It seems like she really powers through her sentences and gets them and shoots them at you.
The raw speed that it offers. Graphics applications, telecommunications, CAD/CAM require a lot of speed.
The speed the chip offers, see?
The real promise of this chip are in the applications that will be coming down the road in the next, let's say, 2 to 5 years. A whole new breed of software and applications.
Jan, we're going to take a look at the new
stuff.
Compact Desk Pro 386. We'll also look at the new Zenith Z386. We'll talk to the people from Intel about the chip, and we'll talk to a software developer about future applications on 386 computers. First of all, we are going to get Gary into the act. We're going to go visit Gary Kildall's workshop in Monterey, California for a preview look at what a 386 computer can really do.
Unreal. We thought Gary wasn't even going to be in it. He is in it. He's in a VT section.
Very few hardware introductions have received as much attention as Intel's new 386 microprocessor. The fast 32-bit chip is already available in a number of desktop machines at prices that definitely put it into the microcomputer category.
A couple of Garys working really hard.
In Monterey, California,
Gary, sadly, he was screwed over by Bill Gates, I think. And
so far, the machine runs
he died after getting into a fight in a fucking Hell's Angels bar. I think he went in wearing a Harley Davidson jacket or something, and the Hell's Angels didn't like it.
That we're using here is important in a development environment because it lets us get...
And I heard or read somewhere that he didn't even command a fee for any of the Computer Chronicles work. He just loved the game. He was in the game. He was the game. He was the only game in town. He didn't ask for any money. He just did it.
Through our programming tasks a lot faster than we were able to do before. In fact, where we would have used a VAX maybe for a program development, we now are using the 386 much more to do for each engineer. And it's we don't have to have...
thank you very much there, Jan and Ratman.
Conditioning in it and things of that sort. Very expensive operation to run a bigger machine.
Closing the gap between mini
size of that
is certain to affect prices and likely to give...
You can see a bit of moisture on Gary's face. He's illustrating, I think, how this new fast lane chip, the Intel 386, is going to revolutionize work environments. And you can see, you know, it was the computers that didn't have this fast chip were massive. They probably emitted a lot of heat. You were working in rooms where, you know, it was going 90 and then you were sweating your bollocks off changing spools. You can see a spool
closing the gap between
inside
minis and
that case that would have had to have been changed or something. Just a crazy world compared to what
is certain to affect prices
transpired.
And likely to give a boost to the development of new applications.
The reason that we're going to see
and that's Ms. Lara Croft. Mr. Magpie, thank you very much for the tip. Thank you very much for the tip. I think he's got a little bit of Mozart on the back of the on the background in his computer there. It's an interesting computer screen monitor, which it's kind of in portrait mode. It could be Mozart. It could be another one of the great composers.
New applications is not so much because of that of the 386, but the fact that it's now readily accessible to a large number of people.
It could be one of the founding fathers of America.
Now you could consider building, say,
it could be back
an expert system that you could sell.
In spite of all the publicity, 32-bit chips are not new technology. But developers see special promise in this new round of introductions.
The interesting thing is that the 386 has grown out of the IBM PC world, and it's not just the 386 that's important here. It's the idea that it's now accepted in our society, in a computer consuming society, as being the next stage to move to. Well, that means that as we move into machine...
thank you very much there, Owen and Mr. Magpie.
Joining us now in the studio is Michael Swavely. Michael's the Vice President of Marketing for Compaq Computers, makers of the Compact Desk Pro 386. Also with us from Compaq is Lynn Parsons, who's going to be operating the 386 during our demonstration. Jan?
Michael Swavely as a fucking Crackintosh and hair combination explosion there. insane. Yasser, Hughes, and many, many other cases.
Mike, these machines have been selling like hotcakes. Who is buying them and what are they using them for?
Well, Jan, they have been selling well, and a whole range of customers are finding that they meet their needs. Most of these customers are really looking for the power and performance that the 386 brings to their applications, whether they're very large spreadsheets, very large databases, or more specialized.
This guy is electric. Thank you very much, Higgy Smalls.
Network file servers, or even a small multi-user system running Xenix.
So I guess it's really the speed, as Jan mentioned at the beginning of the show, that the users are looking for now. I want to try to give our audience a feel for the speed of this machine. You've got a very complex macro up here, which you're going to run on a spreadsheet. Tell us about.
We're going to get a...
Okay, let's just sort of run this macro now, Lynn, and we'll see how long it takes.
Okay, well, as you could tell, it was a very complex macro, even for 1, 2, 3. Right. And fills in the spreadsheet, does some recalculations, then goes back and does some comparisons, and then refills the spreadsheet, a couple other items like that, and takes a grand total of all of about 16 seconds to complete this very complex spreadsheet.
And there it is.
And there it is.
And we saw it went out to about 500 rows there, didn't
it?
So fast. That really is the fucking fast lane right there. That I didn't even see that macro happen.
Another crazy motherfucker living it up, not giving a fuck in the fast lane.
Over 5,000 cells are worked with in this particular example.
Okay, to really get a sense.
Thank you very much, Bin Beef.
I ask you, you can set up the compact to run in the 8088 mode at 4.77 megahertz. So if Lynn, you'll do that and run that same macro on the same spreadsheet, we'll run a clock on it and see what the difference is.
Okay.
You know, this brings up an interesting question,
They're going to run a clock
Does the
on
speed of the 386, does this obsolete the AT and the 286?
No, I don't think it obsoletes it. There will still be a significant price difference for the added performance of the 386. And I think that both the 286-based products as well as the 386-based products will have a place in the marketplace for the next several years.
Okay, excuse me, you've just started running the demo now in the slower mode. So we'll run a clock on this and we'll see how long it takes.
Okay.
Mike, what about this issue of compatibility? I mean, how nervous should a user be? We see here an example of compatibility in which you're able to put it into that 8088 mode. All existing software will run on this?
Yes, basically Compaq is staking its reputation that is built for delivering the utmost in compatibility on this product, as we do with every new product we introduce. And the user should feel very comfortable with the compatibility of the product.
Now, some users are worried about what IBM will do, and any day IBM will announce its 386 machine, and everybody's saying, what a gutsy move on the part of Compaq.
It was a ballsy move there.
In fact, to be out there first. How afraid is the company of this? How risky a move is it really?
We don't feel like it's...
Hard-hitting interrogation from Stu. Norma Foley, Mark Keogh asks...
a risky move at all. We believe that the industry...
Bar Connor, thank you very much there. Buffering. Hopefully it's not buffering for you there. Because this is just electric stuff already from the fast lane that we're seeing from 1986, even though it says, or maybe 1987, it says in the title. I went back and saw and looked through the archives. I think it's 1986, so there's a lot of titling that has gone wrong on these episodes, which is why it is so goddamn important that those websites got made by the boys, Sam Lee and Dara Dermody, which really rectify and put us in our place and give us an exact time and location.
Standard that has been established for software for the business marketplace is clearly in place, and what we've done here with the Despro 386 is innovate within that existing standard as opposed to trying to go outside the standard and do something different. Now, IBM may or may not enter the marketplace at any point in the future. The market will judge what IBM brings to the market in the same way as it judges any other manufacturer's new products.
And you're not worried about their getting out there on a standard which is slightly different from yours and having to battle that?
Not particularly, because they do have to live within the market realities. And the reality is that American business has made an enormous investment in the industry standard. And for IBM or anyone else...
They may have buried themselves in this standard here.
To some
this thing is still running, by the way, Jan. You know, we're still watching the slower...
Captain Slowpoke in the background still trying to crush that macro just goes to show it truly is the age of the fast lane.
Give a fuck, living life in the fast lane. I'm just a crazy motherfucker, living it up.
I'll stop doing that now. It's wearing thin.
Version NXT, if you will,
Right.
kind of still do those recalculations. This still says wait, wait, wait. While we're waiting, Mike, one other question. When do you see people are
I
saying,
like
well,
the
where's
way they're fluidly still covering up the weight by just having chats about other stuff.
real application? Where's the real power? Jan was talking about the graphics, all the new things we'll be able to do. When is that going to happen?
Well, I think that the introduction of the Despro 386 has kicked off the start of that. And frankly, there's hundreds of companies out in the industry right now working on new hardware capabilities, new software capabilities, to really deliver all the benefits of the 386 architecture to the customer. So I think we'll start seeing those.
What do you know? It done it. It did it. And on my watch,
It done it, and Stu's got the
it
time.
took 2 minutes and 17 seconds for it to do what
What, the other one took, what, 12 seconds?
took 16 seconds
Right.
when you were running it with the 386
16.
chip.
Yeah, about 8.5 times longer.
Pretty impressive. Thank you very much. Now, as Mike said, some software companies
Brilliant.
already are
Just gets out of there. There's no more chat to be had. There's more stuff to be done, more links.
working on applications for the 386. One of the first out of the gate is Sun Microsystems, and Wendy Woods has a report on that.
You're looking at several programs running.
That's the eyes of Mona Lisa, ladies and gentlemen. Or the eyes of Nerdal Mansell, says Mark.
At once on a 386-based PC. The windows are the manifestation of a programming tool called News from Sun Microsystems. Previously, this product was only available for use on Sun workstations. Pardon the pun, but why is this news? Because Sun is
Excellent mouse work there as well from the lady with the ring.
Sun
It's
workstations.
a lovely lady with a ring
Pardon the pun, but why
and a
is
fantastic
this
mouse
news?
with 3 buttons. I don't know what each of those buttons does.
Because Sun is betting that the 386 will become as pervasive as the chip that runs today's PC. By getting in there first with a window.
And it's a fucking massive CRT that she has there as well. Is she a designer? Is this a design situation that we're dealing with here?
There first with a windowing product that can be adapted to many machines, Sun hopes to make News the new windowing standard.
If you look at both in CAD/CAM
Eric
publishing,
Schmidt, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder, is he the same fucking Schmidt from Google? Wasn't there a Schmidt in Google?
those sorts of markets.
Dr. Eric fucking Schmidt. Eric Schmidt. It's Eric Schmidt from fucking Google. I got it right. And that's why you need me to guide you through these episodes, because nobody would know about that. Not many people would know that that's the Schmidtster. The fucking the googly boogly. The googie boy. The Schmidty Harris. The Schmidt Flicker. The Google boy. Google man Schmidt. I mean, you wouldn't have that sort of annotative intuition from other people. Maybe you would. I mean, if somebody else is going to be watching Computer Chronicles back episodes on a live stream on a fucking afternoon, they're probably the kind of person who does know that that's Eric Schmidt from Google. The Google man, the G man, the G hustle, the fucking San Jose hustler, the G daddy, the gaddy, God of Oogle, Googlebox, or just a few of his many, many nicknames. The G virus, okay? The Google Doogler, Bagugas. And this is from his days back in Sun Microsystems, long before he started fucking laying down hard layers of code inside the Google box. And Steve there in the chat says he used to get back rubs whilst driving a smart car in LA. What about those fucking smart cars in LA that got burnt out last night? Not so fucking smart now, are they? Waymos. Apparently lads were getting Waymos out, calling Waymos come out and then throwing petrol bombs in them. But that's your man. That's Eric Schmidt. He took over, as far as I can remember. He wasn't an original G. He wasn't one of the original G hustlers from the Google days. I believe Alexei or a couple of bucks, then got Schmidt in because they weren't, Google back in the day, it's a behemoth now, right? Google. But back in the day, I think they were ideologues in that they didn't want to go down the route of advertising. Well, maybe not. I mean, they wanted to make money. They didn't want to become like big corporate sellouts. But then once they got a sniff of that sweet, 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 sweet bag of cash, they couldn't stop it. And it was never going to fucking stop. And they brought this guy in because they weren't able to cut the mustard as a front of house situation. I remember seeing a documentary about it anyway. Stanford boys. Right place, right time. Right algorithm. But Schmidt, what was Schmidt saying? What was he saying? What was he doing? The Schmidt hit the fan, says Higgy Smalls. And that is what happened at Google. They had to get the Schmitzer in.
News, the new windowing standard.
If you look at both in CAD-CAM, publishing, those sorts of markets, 386 is going to be a player. News is going to be, we believe, a component in every one of those. In addition, customers who have Suns would be able to...
Kate Bush, ladies and gentlemen. Kate Bush. Unbelievable stuff. We haven't even seen... We're going back into 1987 here, and we are seeing a blast from the past, many different people and types. And did we ever imagine it? Did you ever dare to dream it? That Kate Bush would be involved at some stage of the piece.
A component in every one of those. In addition, customers who have Suns would be able to use the same applications on both Suns and on the 386's running news. And that's again why it's attractive to license applications on both. It's going to be a play in customers who...
Google Schmidt.
Have Suns, again, why it's attractive to license news to the 386 community.
News is also unique in that it is partially constructed with PostScript, a sophisticated imaging model which enables a user to manipulate the size and scale of each window. Will Sun's news on the 386 be as...
The Zenith entry is coming right up. Thank you very much there, Rassilin.
With us now in the studio is Bob Dilworth, the president of Zenith Data Systems, makers of the new Zenith Z386 computer. Also with us in the studio is Holden Oust from Zenith, who's going to be operating the 386 for us. Jan?
Bob, how is your machine different from the compact
Jan is
desk
just a real safe bet player. She can really hold the show down. She asks the right questions at the right time. She knows her stuff. She knows her fucking technological onions. Rasinen, thank you very much for the tip there. Look at these guys. It's a real Schmitzer scenario. It is Vladimir Schmitzer. That's not Eric Schmidt, but he does look like him. And this guy here, I'm not sure, but he's doing the interlocking spurs. which is a geological phenomenon which can sometimes be found in Palo Alto, California, in these TV studios. Wherever Stu's around, there's usually an interlocking spur going spare as well, you know.
He's going to be operating the 386 for us. Jan?
Bob, how is your machine different from the compact Desk Pro 386 that we just saw?
They're very similar. There are some features. We both basically had to design.
And it's Bobby Dilworth, or as he's known in the hood, Dobby Billworth.
Without knowing what each other was doing, and obviously both companies are interested in
the dill pickle, the dillster, the dilbert. Who's eating dilbert grape? The dill bob.
And trying to protect standards where we can, but we're unique in the way we handle memory. We're have some advantages in cache memory, things like that make it a little bit different. But they're both very fast MS.
The Dildertron, dill or no dill, Dilbert, is it?
DOS machines is really what.
He's probably a dillionaire now after all the fucking work he did in the computer world back in the day. I took the dillionaire from Brap there.
Is the machine out now? Is this a product at this point?
It is a product. It is out, and we're shipping primarily early samples to some of our existing customers.
Who are buying these machines now, and what are they using them for?
And generally speaking, it's people that need the speed or need lots of memory access or speed in handling large database files.
Is there a real market for the 386 machine just based on speed and memory?
That lovely bit of cheese on Stu's head there. Cheese and beans nestled atop Stu's beautiful West of Ireland fucking sensual handmade thatch. It's got everything.
Or is it going to really depend on the new, more
it's artisanal,
sophisticated applications for this kind of machine to really move?
Obviously, the new applications and some new applications will drive the market, but already we see sophisticated software packages that are sluggish, even on a 286 product. Mm-hmm. And so they need that 386 to really make the packages snap. And it's like any computer system.
You really want to make your packages snap.
Seconds, and you want it to come quicker and
faster.
Okay,
let's try to show some snap here. And Holden, we're going to add...
Let's try and just show some snap.
Let's try to show some snap here. And Holden, we're going to add...
I think Stu said he was very excited about saying, let's try and show some snap here. That he might have done a little bit of a fumble and said, let's show some snap here. Can't be too sure, but that's what I heard. No doubt I'll rewind it and play it 5 times.
In seconds, and you want it to come quicker and faster.
Okay, let's try to show some snap here. And Holden, we're going to...
Lovely stuff, but Stu's a fucking professional, man. He just goes straight through it. It's brilliant. You could really learn a lesson about how to fucking deal with presentational styles and confidence in the firing line by observing this man.
I ask you to run this. We have now, I guess, what's in here? A 10-page document in WordStar?
That's right.
Not known as a fast mover necessarily, right? And
WordStar.
I believe we're going to correct a document. We've made some errors somewhere, so that you're going to go through and...
Yeah, you mistyped.
Oh no, he did WordStar. Thank you very much there, the other Jeff, for the cheese and beans.
Type the word memory, M-E-M-O-R-I, and you forgot the period and the space in that sentence. Okay, now I happen to know, since we prepared this here for you, that error occurs 90 times in this document. So I want you to do a search and replace and correct that. And let's see how long it takes to correct that.
We are doing search.
Go ahead, Holt.
Find and replace.
Whipping right along.
That's fast.
Wow.
And I guess if you're usually
going line by line.
That on a slower machine, it takes a lot longer.
It's a timely process.
To do 90 search and replace.
If you use Microsoft Word nowadays, it's just, and it has been like that for fucking 30 years maybe. But back then, going line by line, seeing this happen would have absolutely blown your tiny minds.
Finish that document there.
And my tiny mind at the time. It was a very tiny mind. I didn't even have the capacity to be even able to understand this. Just colours maybe and shapes. Thank you very much there, Dara, for the tip there. Ever consider getting the Chaffee haircut? Maybe at some stage of the game it will have to go that way.
Let's see how long it would take if we wanted to do a search and replace on the word zenith. So in other words, see how long it takes to go through those 10 pages.
I like the way he says zenith and not zenith.
And I think we better tell the audience to watch very carefully, because I've seen this done before.
Don't blink.
And go. Did it. Okay, wow. Faster than the eye can see. Bob,
wow.
What a...
So that was that. That was find and replace. Fuck. Sorry, I just need a moment there. Fucking hell.
With 37 tons of new millennium. Dum diddy dum. Where's it coming from?
About
Aguilera. Come and get some. Oh no, which way to go? To the dance flow. It's super stereo. Pay me no mind. I seen the Fight Club about 28 times. And I'ma keep my pants sagging. Keep a skateboard.
Okay, faster than the eye can see. Bob, what about IBM? Everybody's talking. Okay, faster than the eye can see. Bob, what about IBM? Everybody's for IBM. What will IBM do? Bob, did it. Okay, faster than the eye can see. Bob, what about IBM? Everybody's talking about waiting for IBM.
Faster than the eye can see.
What do you think's going to happen there?
Sure. I think, in fact, you know, we read the press and read all the same documents everybody else reads and really don't have any advantage. We expect that they will eventually use the chip.
Dobson Billworth III, Esquire, who you can see there from the wry, cheeky smile he had on his face there. Cheeky old Cheshire cat coming back to the old Dillmaster himself.
I think
he knows he's witnessing the birth of a new reality with that find and replace like that.
In fact, you know, we read the press and read all the same documents everybody else reads and really don't have any advantage. We expect that they will eventually use the chip in some fashion. Really don't know when and how fast.
Old fucking Netflix and Dill himself.
And we'll just all have to wait and see.
What do you think the consequences are going to be to users when these new kinds of applications come along? I mean, how will the availability of 386? Jen described this as a quantum leap in personal computing. What's that going to mean to the businessman, to the corporate user, and so on, in terms of what you can do, really, that you can't do now, other than do it faster?
You know, I think that...
Bit of uncertainty there from Stu at the end of the link. Rarity. Ted Stickles, thank you very much for the tip.
And so on, in terms
but I think it's just mainly Stu holding down the fort, realizing we're halfway through the episode and that we need to get out at some stage to go to a VT.
What you can do.
He's looking off to the floor manager or whoever there
now,
just to check the clock maybe. And there we go, like that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Stu.
Another crazy motherfucker living it up, not giving a fuck in the fast lane.
You know, I think that the next step in many of the software packages, and you need to sort of stop and people buy applications that are then backed up by software, which is finally needs hardware to run the application. So we really don't drive the market with a piece of hardware. What really drives the market is the software. And in this particular case...
It's not about the hardware, okay? We've seen this time and time again. You know, if the proof is in the pudding, then the power is in the applications.
I think we're going to see software packages where, to make them easy to use, you know, the artificial intelligence type of products, are going to need this kind of power and speed in order to make them an acceptable application.
Bob Holden, thank you very much for joining us. Now, in just a minute, we're going to talk to guests from Intel and Phoenix Technologies and talk about the future of the 386. Stay with us. Super.
We're not going anywhere. I'm not going to leave this. You're fucking joking. Unix/DOS multi-users. Multi-user system.
Joining us now in the studio is Neil.
Sorry, I just want to give my credence to that beautiful musical interlude with a bit of interpretive.
Joining Joining us now in the studio is Neil Colvin, Chairman and CEO of Phoenix Technologies, and sitting next to Neil is Dana Crilly, Marketing Manager for the 86 at Intel.
Dana.
Thank you very much there, Fanny, for the tip. Whatever happened to that version of Creep you did with Kevin? I miss it so much. I don't know. I really don't know, but it could be out there in the wild somewhere.
The 386 is being hailed as a major breakthrough in personal computing. Can you give us some background on the 386 and why all the fuss?
Well, certainly. First of all, the 386 is the...
Dana Crilly. It's pronounced Crilly like Ted Crilly, but it's Krell. Jan asking some very penetrating questions here of the man.
386 generation. Well,
computing. Dana, the 386 is being hailed as a major breakthrough in personal computing. Can you give us some background on the 386 and why all the fuss?
Well, certainly. First of all, the 386 is the 32-bit generation of the 86 architecture technology, which the 8088 generation of PCs is based on, and after that, the 286 generation of PCs is based on our 286. The 386 is a 32-bit...
It's enthralling and captivating. Chris Durst, thank you very much. And Brain Slug, thank you very much.
Over what those machines are.
x86, you see that in your fucking Windows when you go into your C drive. Don't you? X or 86 applications or whatever. When you're looking at program files, you want to fucking mod your game or whatever, you go into that.
And of course, that's one of the issues we talk about in utilizing the 386. Now, what about the operating system specifically? What's going to happen there with the 386 to take advantage of it?
Well, first of all, the Unix technology base is already well underway for the 386. The Unix System 5 Release 3 port to the 386 is in beta site today at over 50 different OEMs who are developing products based on Unix and the 386. And certification from AT&T should happen in the early first quarter next year. Additionally, several OEMs are developing products that surround...
Stream is very unstable, says Jeff. Sorry about that, Jeff. I don't know what's going on there. I wonder, do I have anything else going on? Is there stuff downloading or anything like that? Because this is... It's not an everyday occurrence.
Around the 386 Unix with various features, as well as ISVs, one of which we'll see today with Neil running DOS on top of Unix. There are several companies doing that, including Locus, as well as Phoenix and Interactive. And additionally, there's windowing technologies being put onto 386 Unix from Sun Microsystems, as well as others. So for the Unix marketplace, the mini computer and workstation marketplace, the software environment for the 386 is already very well developed and about ready to come to market in a lot of machines.
Okay, you've led us into Neil now, so let's talk about your product, which is called VPix, I believe, and what does it do?
Well, VPix is an integration of the Unix environment for the 386.
Loving Neil Colvin here from the Phoenix Technologies. He's not only the chairman, but he's the chief executive officer of Phoenix Systems. What an absolute incredible officer he is.
Which are typically CAD/CAM, high-level engineering, things like that. And then at the same time, switch immediately to running some of the more popular DOS-type applications such as Lotus or Ashton Tate's DBase or something.
Could you give us a demonstration of VPix and describe the setup you have here, Neil?
Okay. What we have here is we have...
I'm detecting a slight bit of... I don't know, agitation from Stu there at the end. There was a bit of an inhalation, a kind of a... I mean, he rarely lets one of those slip.
And describe...
Ed there says Stu looks stressed. Look at these power struggles. This is what it is, though, isn't it? And you're fucking front of house on one of the most cutting-edge computer shows. In fact, probably the only computer show of its ilk.
The setup you have here, Neil.
Okay. What we have here...
Just that. I wouldn't ever want to be the person who made Stu feel like that, you know? I wouldn't ever want to be... I wouldn't want to elicit that sort of reaction from him. I only want to see him just do his best work. I think he's anticipating a malfunction and whatnot. I think in the early days, something he ironed out in the later series was technical demonstrations. They were always a kind of a fucking jump into the deep end. You didn't know whether or not it was going to fuck up or anything like that. And he's already anticipating something that will look shit.
Here, Neil.
Okay. What we have here is we have a serial terminal and a regular IBM EGA type terminal.
Okay.
And it's a bit of a thatch off. There's a fucking a thatch off going on as well. So there might be a little bit of consternation there, you know, behind the scenes before this has even gone to air. I love the background though, the San Francisco Bay Area in the background, the Trans-America Pyramid. I know this from watching the Flight Simulator streams, but it's a great, great situation.
And the serial terminal is hooked over an RS-232 link to the processor. And
you're playing two people here.
I'm playing two people. This is a two-user Unix system. So that
maybe she was like, he's trying to steal my look like a magpie. Maybe he is Magpie Thatcher. Huh? Steve Ballmer, 1999 NetCon. Thank you very much. Steve Ballmer at NetConference. Search it. I will do. Thanks for letting me know. I'll search it right here and right now. I don't usually do this, so don't think this is going to be the way now where I just go off on a fucking tangent if you send me an idea for it to look at something on YouTube. But it's Steve Ballmer, who I think warrants attention at the best of times. Never mind the worst of times. A man who really brings the beef to the market. So there we have Steve Ballmer at NetConference. Oh yeah, sure, we've seen it millions of times there, whoever has sent that to me. Seen it millions of times. I mean, I've searched it now, so it warrants a quick fucking replay. I mean, this is old school stuff. Everyone, if you're... I'm just sad that you didn't know that we've done this already, you know?
What is the $64,000 question? Okay. So what is the $64,000 question? Holy cow, I'm going to have to tough it up now. Here we go. What's the $64,000 question for the field? What is the most asked question that I've received this week? What the hell are we supposed to do about .NET, Steve? It's a
He's like fucking...
very good question. And
it's the sweat is insane.
It's got a very, very clear answer. Developers. The key to .NET, the key to industry transformation, the key to success is developers, 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 developers. Developers, 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 developers. Yes!
There we go. Thanks for recommending that, actually. It's nice to have that bit of a boost, you know? Where's my fucking Computer Chronicles gone now? Oh, this is a disaster. This is a fucking disaster.
Take two. Now who's the star sucker? I'm the starfish, you silly motherfucker. Puff, puff, give the marijuana cig. Oops, I don't even smoke, but I love the way it smells. Here's a toast to the females. Sipping champagne from a seashell. I take a counterfeit and pop his ass like a zit with the starfish navigation system. No cheap thrills, baby. Fill the briefcase with $3 bills. I'm just an ordinary run-of-the-mill fella, spitting out hella mic skills. And I'ma keep my pants sagging, keep a skateboard, a spray can for the tagging. And I'ma keep a lot of girls on my bandwagon, cause I don't give a fuck, living life in the fast lane.
Will drive the market, but already we see sophisticated software packages that are sluggish, even on a 286 product. And so they need that 386 to really make the packages snap. And it's like any computer system, we can be made
on a means. Colvin, chairman and C3.
Back
products that surround.
I don't know what the fuck happened there, because I watched the Steve Ballmer video and then just Computer Chronicles disappeared. Look at his face though. It's, you know, I don't know whether or not Stu was jealous, or was he... Look at that, the way my face just appears on your man's forehead there. Evan, thank you very much there for the tip. Jay Leno's, thank you very much. And John Otto, can I interest anyone in a trip down to the Matthews Bridge? Thank you very much. And Rusty Bullet Hole, Thank you very much. And Vincent Brown, how are you?
High-level engineering, things like that. And then at the same time, switch immediately to running some of the more popular DOS-type applications such as Lotus or Ashton Tate's DBase or something.
Okay, could you give us a demonstration of VPix and describe the setup you have here, Neil?
Okay.
Ashton Tate's DBase.
What we have here is we have a serial terminal and a regular IBM EGA type terminal. Okay. And the serial terminal is hooked over an RS-232 link to the processor.
Lovely bit of Doppler effect here from, it kind of makes him into a demonic Phoenix Systems CEO there for a moment. The wavy Doppler effect of the digitization of the tape onto model there. And I like that hand. Look at the fucking curvature on the hand. Do you know what that's called? The Coriolis effect, which is a little known phenomenon in the physics world. And it's insane. It only happens at high speed. But this is where I would want to be, realistically speaking. If I was involved in any of this, I want to be on this monitor here going, hi, Stu. Just want to say I'm from the future. And I don't want to freak you out or anything like that, but this is fucking brilliant. Go harder than you are even going now. I know that you want to hold a great ship down and you're doing all your best, but for the next 15, 20 years, go even harder. And when you think that you've got it to the right level, go another step forward and another step further and then another step further than that. Okay, Stu? We'll talk to you later on. All the best.
EGA type terminal. Okay. And the serial terminal is hooked over an RS-232 link to the processor. And the serial terminal is hooked over an RS-232 link to the processor. And the serial terminal is hooked over an RS-232 link to the processor. And
you're playing two people.
The serial terminal is hooked over an RS-232 link to the processor.
Okay.
And
you're playing two people here.
I'm playing two people. This is a two-user Unix system, so that in fact we are running two separate Unix tasks at the same time.
I'm playing two people at the same goddamn time, Stu. I know that's not how he sounds.
If I type a standard Unix command on here, we see we're
so he's showing us a slow machine and a fast machine.
With the ROM sign-on message, we actually load in a PC DOS, and now we're up and running in a virtual PC. One of the things that we can do is we can actually nest these types of environments in the sense that we can run another operating environment like Microsoft Windows right on top of this virtual PC.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And look at the, he's got two massive keyboards in front of him. He's very dexterous he's ambidextrous in that he's got two keyboards going, but he's doing two things at the same time, spinning two plates.
Nest these types of environments in the sense that we can run another operating environment like Microsoft Windows right on top of this virtual PC. Mm-hmm. And we'll start up Microsoft Windows here. And I'll select an actual Microsoft Windows task. One of them, which just sort of runs all by itself, is their clock, which you can put into a window, and it sits here and counts time for us.
So we're running Microsoft Windows under MS-DOS, and at the same time...
we're still running Unix on the other terminal. I can do another Unix job over here if I wanted to, another screen display or something like that. Or I can start up another virtual PC on this terminal.
I've actually lost... I thought we were comparing and contrasting slow and new chips, old chips and new, but it seems as though he's showing us that this new chip is capable of running a virtual machine as well as your own operating system. You've got two monitors going, you know. I think that's what we're seeing here.
Terminal. Now, this terminal is not a PC screen, it's just a serial terminal, but I can still bring up such applications as Lotus 123 simultaneously.
And there it is.
Right.
Okay, now, and I think you can also show me, okay, we've got Lotus over there, we've got Microsoft Windows running over there.
Right.
I think you can also...
We see Jan getting involved with the interlocking spur technique as well, because she knows that Stu is going full pen on this one. That's an interesting grip, to say the least, and the watch looks brilliant as well. He's usually, you see him with kind of gold timepieces, a kind of classic timepiece. You don't really see him with digital watches that much.
So show me actually how we can see the two different Unix and MS-DOS directories.
Right. One of the very interesting things is, and let's just stop Lotus here very rapidly.
Beautiful.
is that we are actually using exactly the same file structures for both applications, both in the case of Unix. Here we have the Unix files, and we'll quickly close down the Windows operation over here. Get back to the standard DOS environment.
Usually the machine is a lot faster than the man.
Yeah, that's
the slowest part of this system.
And if I do a standard DOS directory command here, we're actually looking at exactly the same set of files in both cases. In this case, we're looking at it from the DOS point of view, and here we're looking at it from the Unix point of view.
Dana, let me ask you, we've heard a lot about the different modes in running the 3D.
He was going on about the fact that he was looking for the Unix files. That joke was the X-Files theme. Instead of the X-Files, the Unix files.
We're looking at it from the Unix point of view.
Dana, let me ask you, we've heard a lot about the different modes in running the 386, virtual mode and protected mode and so on. Explain that. What does all that mean?
Well, first of all, there's really one mode in the processor that everybody is using, and that is the protected mode of the processor.
Diana Krall, 80386 marketing manager at Intel.
The virtual capabilities, the ability to run a virtual 86 machine on top of a Unix, is all contained within the protected mode. So the virtual capability is a subset of the protected mode and is selectable on a task-by-task or user-by-user basis within the protected mode.
And protected mode means?
It means the full architecture of the machine, the full 32-bit virtual memory architecture of the processor.
So that means that an application, for instance, could not clobber the operating system. Or
That's one of the reasons we call it.
Absolutely clobbered the operating system. You don't want that to fucking clobber your OS.
Protected mode.
Because your application could be too demanding.
Is because there are several intrinsic features in the chip that allow protection, first of all, from the...
From applications?
The application being able to...
See, I know what's going to be said. What will he sounds like he's building up for something else.
The operating system, and also from an application to be
what? Background tasks?
Able to hurt another application, and then
no, one application might hurt another one.
And further, there's also protection from within an application being able to do wrong things to the machine.
Stop doing wrong things to my machine. My machine has had some wrong things done to it, and it needs fixing fast. Can you sort it out?
Protection on all those different areas within a full 32-bit multitasking environment.
Real quick, gentlemen, about 30 seconds. What's the future here? What does a 386 machine mean to the user down the line now, once we get the applications going?
Well, I think it'll mean...
It's going to mean that we're going to, obviously, things are going to be done a lot faster. The range of applications that you're going to be able to use is going to open that up. It's going to really enable developers to add a new layer of depth to applications. Obviously, processing time, speed increasement in the office, deeper applications, and God knows what else. It's like let's hear it, but it's the exact same bullshit that we're hearing day in, day out, almost on the hour now. Some painful item about AI, which has the exact same touch points throughout every fucking feature. It's always, thank you very much for the tip there, Chip. It's always, it's just going to get better and better and better. It's getting better and better every day. And in a few years' time, we're not going to know ourselves. Right now, if this is where it is right now, AI in a few years' time is going to get... It's shit, man. At the moment, it's not amazing, like. But they're doing items on it on the news, on the telly. There's probably documentaries, YouTube, radio, AI this, AI that, AI this. It's fucking boring, man. Give it a rest. Give it a rest until something class happens with AI. Don't want to fucking hear about it anymore, okay? And I don't know who I'm appealing to here, but I just hope that the message gets out there. It's fucking rubbish so far. Okay, so you can make pictures happen. Right. What else? You can have a conversation with the fucking chatbot that sources his information from Google or elsewhere. All right, yeah, interesting enough. Where's the beef? Where's the meat here? There's no fucking meat. And this, it's going to happen in a few years, crack. That's no basis for a feature or a link or an item on a show that I'm watching. Sick of hearing about it. I'm not interested.
Applications that will become available in the next couple of years will be far more powerful than the applications we have today.
Look, it's always like this. It's always, what is that even called? A preposition. It's just stuff based on how cool it's going to be in the future. But I suppose they're just trying to fucking not only fill time, but they're also like covering their arses so they can then in 5 years' time go, look, we covered this back in the day and we were the first ones to say it was going to be amazing.
Many of them we expect to incorporate a lot of artificial intelligence techniques.
Stu wouldn't have done that with the AI thing. Stu wouldn't have. He would have realized that people are fucking sick of hearing about it now, and also it's just not cool to talk about fucking AI and stuff like that. I mean, you want to see a gadget, you want to see a little thing in your hand that is the AI. This is what AI has done. Watch this, and you press a button, and then magic begins to happen out of this gadget that you got from CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. I don't even know if it still happens anymore. Consumer Electronics Show. Because are there even enough devices to do a consumer electronics show?
What does a 386 machine mean to the user down the line now, once we get the applications going?
Well, I think it'll mean that the applications that will become available in the next couple of years will be far more powerful than the applications we have today. Many of them we expect to incorporate a lot of artificial intelligence techniques to allow the machine to be molded to the user now, rather than vice versa in the past.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Jan, thank you for being with us here. We're all out of time. We'll be back in just a minute with this week's Computer News.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you, Stu. I got a bit annoyed there about AI. I'm sorry about that. I fucking took the tone down to a bit more of an annoyance. But what we can do now is get back to random access. And it's great to see Stu fucking taking the mantle. This is before Janelle Stelson even got involved. This is while the show was still in its infancy, you know, it was still a growing beast. Translated into like 13 other languages, shown in other parts of the world. There's probably people in China who know Stu, and that he might have been their main source of information about the computer world, the computer landscape back in the day. Thank you very much there, Jackie, for the cheese and beans. But Stu did the job of the reporter, the reportage of the random access of the techno news in the day. He did that job as well as the main anchor. He was a reporter back in the day anyway. He did news. Okay, I'm not going to go into his backstory.
File this week. In the random access file this week, it's time for all the IBM prognosticators to be proven right or wrong. Rumors floated for months at the end of '86 that 1987 would see Big Blue come out with a new low-end PC aimed at the education market, a new souped-up 286 machine, and a new 386-based computer. But while everyone waits to see what's new, it appears that IBM has called it quits on the original PC, the computer that revolutionized the personal computer business. Sources say that production of the IBM PC has stopped and that production facilities are being retooled for the new generation of PCs expected this year. Despite the reports that PC production is over, the original IBM PC still accounts for about 7% of all PC sales. What will
Wow. Look at that for a fucking cheeky switch to a different camera. He didn't need to do that, but Stu probably saw the need for it. Visually, it just wasn't holding the attention of the viewer, so he wanted to go to camera 2 for another link. Why? We'll find out why in a moment. But you never saw this with Janelle, because Janelle just would have done the job. She was a professional.
For about 7% of all PC sales.
Stu was all over this to the point that he did this. Look at that. And then this. He doesn't even have an earpiece in to tell him that he needs to go there. He just knows. He's like fucking voodoo. He is like the premonition. He's got a deadly premonition. He lives there. He lives in the studio. Studio.
What will 1987 be the year of? Remember this time last year when all the writers were saying that 1986 would be the year of artificial intelligence? Well,
oh, for fuck's sake. Not you, Stu, as well. I've just said that you wouldn't do this.
It didn't turn out that all the writers were saying that 1986 would be the year of artificial intelligence. Well, it didn't turn out that way. AI products have generally been a disappointment, and
even in 1986, you couldn't escape the shit talk about AI. It's just been going on since time immemorial. The land that time forgot, the land before time. I imagine even probably fucking Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden might have been having a discussion about AI while the snake was getting involved. McPhail, thank you very much there. Should we all be prognosticating now? What's the official line the church has taken? Look, I don't know. I don't know what prognosticating means, but I suppose if you were to break it down into fucking little syllables, prognosis, that's like the outlook after the diagnosis, isn't it? So are you saying that what I was saying there with the AI was I was getting annoyed at the fact that the chat around AI is generally a prognostication? Is that what that is? Well, that's great. It's great to learn stuff on the fly, you know, prognosticating. I'm going to use that one in some conversation at some stage, you know, to sound even smarter. Rupee, thank you very much for the tip, as well as McPhail. AI 1986. I gotta see what the kind of the landscape was back then. Are they going to cut to a video of some sort of AI palaver back then?
Remember this time last year when all the writers were saying that 1986 would be the year of artificial intelligence? Well, it didn't turn out that way. AI products have generally been a disappointment, and the stock prices of AI companies fell to a 3-year low at the end of '86, down an average of 26% from a year ago. One big factor in the future of artificial...
I'm even annoyed. I'm actually even annoyed now that I even was talking about AI, that I was annoyed at it, because I'm just adding to the fucking AI. You know?
Artificial intelligence applications will be the...
I'm disgusted with myself.
...role of the Defense Department, which up until now has been a major supporter of AI research, especially to support Star Wars, or SDI.
Serial Digital Interface, question mark? Because that's what I fucking know SDI as. Star Wars was literally a space program. Maybe an extension of the Cold War, the race for space. The race to put some man in space and say, we did it. A man is in space and he came back and he didn't die. And we didn't have to send a chimp or a dog up. We fucking just sent a man up there. But obviously then future trips to the space, some of them didn't work out well. There were some bad trips. And a pretty bad trip was had by a few people. Kaylee, thank you very much for the tip there.
A recent...
Just a little lesson, I suppose, that space should not have been a race. It should not have been a race. Why? Because when you're racing around, you're fucking not paying attention to all the little screws that are loose and this, that, and the other. A little mouse here or fucking a typo. And then the next thing you know, explosions in the sky.
A study by Rider College in New Jersey concludes that college students who use computers and word
End space racism now.
processors get better grades on papers than students who use typewriters. The study found that on a 4-point scale, papers done on a word processor averaged a 3.1, while papers done on a typewriter averaged only a 2.6. Other interesting results were that in the sample of 200 papers, no student who used a word processor failed a paper, and papers on word processors tended to be longer than typewritten ones.
Well, I mean, if you had the fucking money, if your family had the money for that word processor and a computer, then you were probably in a better educational headspace as it was even to begin with. So I mean, you were definitely going to come away with the goods if you had a word processor.
Finally, and this was a surprise, 76% of the papers done on computers were written by women. Lawmakers in Montana have come up with a new idea for an online database.
I don't know why that one was. Why is it? Was it all maybe secretarial work and all that sort of stuff back in the day? Probably mostly women, and then the adopters of the new tech were women. Maybe they were like, That's better than a typewriter. Get me a keyboard. Get me a word processor. Stat.
Written by women. Lawmakers in Montana have come up with a new idea for an online database that lists all pending bills before the state legislature, the names of sponsors, the schedules for committee hearings, and the status of the bills. Users pay a flat fee of $100 for unlimited access to the system. Time for this week's software review.
What?
Idea for an online typewritten were written by women. Lawmakers in Montana have come up with a new idea for an online database that lists all.
Is that fucking Montana? That looks like the Capitol building in Washington, stormed by the Stop the Steelers of January 6.
All pending bills before the state legislature, the names of sponsors, the schedules for committee hearings, and the status of the bills. Users pay a flat fee of $100 for unlimited access.
What is your bill status?
Software review. Here's Paul Schindler.
Yes! Insane. It's only an insane show. Look at his miniature joy. He's going to, it's like a little red snooker ball from a miniature table that John Virgo has, and he's attached it atop of a miniature fucking gear knob, gear stick. And there he is, John Virgo. The star sign, John Virgo. Paul, a.k.a. Paulus Schindler. Paulus Schindler. And there he is, look at that.
This week's software review, here's Paul Schindler.
Go away, don't bother me. Oh, it's you. Well, okay. Go.
I'm gonna watch this 10 times. Sorry about this in advance.
Go away, don't bother me. Oh. Go away, don't bother me. Oh, it's you. Well. Go away, don't bother me. Oh, it's you. Well. Go away, don't bother me. Oh, it's you. Well. Go away, don't bother me. Oh, it's you. Well. Go away, don't bother me. Oh, it's you. Well. Go away, don't bother me. Oh, it's you. Well, okay, I'll let you in on a little secret. Any doubts I had about the Atari ST computer were wiped out when I saw Time Bandit, a simply spectacular
Time Bandit. Look at the fucking rigid stance of Schindler in this. He's letting his hand do all the talking. His hand knows all the magic tricks in this link.
Atari ST.
Where's the cue ball go? Where's the red ball going on top of that gear stick?
Go away, don't bother me. Oh, it's you. Well, okay, I'll let you in on a little secret. Any doubts I had about the Atari ST computer were wiped out when I saw Time Bandit, a simply
Time Bandit
spectacular.
And you have to really admire the movement and dexterity of Schindler's wrist.
Maze-type games that takes full advantage of the color graphics capability of the Atari. There are 6 type games were wiped out when I saw Time Bandit, a simply spectacular collection.
Time Bandit.
Of maze-type games that takes full advantage of the color graphics capability.
Laughing car. Make sure you get your qubits. Make sure you gather up your qubits for the final round.
Game to play into a game. If you aren't careful during the selection process, you'll be carried off by a spaceship to a game not of your choice. Take a good look at these graphics. They may not show up clearly on your screen, but the torches even flicker. The monsters that chase you in these mazes cover the range from ghosts to something that looks like a tomato. The problem with most cover the range from ghosts to torches even flicker. The monsters that chase you in these mazes cover up clearly on
look at that flickering torch magic. You don't see that every
your
day
screen,
of the week.
but the torches even
fucking Time Bandit
flicker. The monsters that chase you in these mazes cover the range.
Look at that, one of the fucking monsters there, look. I think he's got, it's like a little frog, humanoid frog, and he's got a fez on his head there, a North African fez. Is that a dig at the North Africans, or what's the story?
From ghosts.
I mean, that wasn't a ghost. I didn't see a fucking ghost. It wasn't like a. That's like a the Toxic Avenger, and then there's a lion. A lion just rams into him. Look, Rammstein. This little lion here just rams into him, and he takes damage from the lion and the Fez monster.
To something that looks like.
And then these are the tomatoes. He says something that looks like a tomato, and there we have it. That is hilarious. That was the evil enemy in this particular game. The game is Time Bandit.
Like a tomato. The problem with most games is boredom. With Time Bandits, there's so many choices.
He's actually just fucking put the nail in the coffin of Time Bandits by saying the problem is boredom. And I've never really noticed this behind the ear bit, like bit of Schindler's head. I would have thought the hair would have gone down there and maybe come to about here. But it seems as though maybe he shaved the hair off from underneath there as well. So it's just like a bit of meaty nape of the neck.
Tomato.
Maybe it's just the way he's standing, because he's leaning on, and that's kind of bunched up the skin in his neck. Or like, kind of, you know, if you move your fucking head back. I can't do it. Ugh.
The problem with
fucking jaw spasm then.
Most games is boredom. With Time Bandits, there's so many choices, it's hard to imagine wearing it out. Hats off to
wearing it out.
To Mitch Tron of Pontiac, Michigan, distributed.
Isn't he fucking intense? Very intense in his delivery. And his intonation and the way he says the lines it's just like, it's fucking hard to watch. It's a bit kind of like he's gonna get you or something like that, you know? Where is he going with this?
Most games is boredom. With Time Bandits, there's so many choices, it's hard to imagine wearing it out. Hats off to Mitch Tron of Pontiac.
It's the no blinking. It's the real intense eye contact that is part and parcel of Schindler's raison d'etre, which is what is beginning to really give me a little bit of an unnerved sense of self whilst watching it as well. No shade on Schindler. Guy's a fucking legend. I won't hear a bad word said about him. But the early links, the early days, I think he might have been too intense. But it's the 80s. You know, it was showbiz, it's Stew, it's California, who knows what. From the Schindel Boxer.
A California travel writer has come out with what may be the first complete book distributed exclusively on a floppy disk. It's called West Coast Travel California, and it's selling for $19.95. The author, Lee Foster, says it's much more practical than a printed book. Updates and new editions are cheaper, and readers can pull out only those chapters they really want and print them out. And, says Foster, after underlining and scribbling all over the pages, you can always print out a fresh copy from your computer.
Lovely.
Finally, a computer researcher at Bell Labs says she's done a computer analysis of Leonardo da Vinci's painting The Mona Lisa and a sketch of the artist himself, and she concludes...
Sorry, just need to rewind that. Obviously, it's another... Look, we get a glimpse of him switching to the camera before the cut. Oh, yeah. But it works. It reads even better. It scans better than the look down, cut, look up. I think it scans better this way.
Finally,
yeah, it's like he leads us into another room.
You can always print out a fresh copy from your computer. Finally, a computer researcher at Bell...
Second location, Stew.
Always print out a fresh copy from your computer. Finally, a computer researcher at Bell Labs says she has done a computer analysis of Leonardo da Vinci's painting The Mona Lisa and a sketch of the artist himself, and she concludes da Vinci himself was the model for Mona Lisa. She says the computer analysis of the facial structure of Da Vinci and Mona Lisa show they are identical. She says stories that the model was a woman named Mona Lisa Gherardini are only based on rumor and hearsay. And further, she says Leonardo da Vinci was probably gay and Mona Lisa was probably a fantasy self-portrait. That's it for this week's Chronicles. We'll see you next time.
Why was that information added into the Computer Chronicles random access? That was like superfluous color that belonged in the realm of whatever that woman was doing. I don't know why they... But maybe, I think in the Da Vinci Code, didn't they say that he was probably that way? I think. Maybe not. Maybe it was something else I read.
It was probably a fantasy self-portrait. She says Leonardo da Vinci was probably gay and Mona Lisa was probably a fantasy self-portrait. That's it for this week's Chronicles. We'll see you next time.
The Computer Chronicles is made possible by Leading Edge, makers of IBM-compatible computer systems, including Lotus lookalike spreadsheet, word processing with spelling correction, communication software, and Hayes-compatible 1200 baud modem. Leading Edge with over 1,000 service centers nationwide. Additional funding is
try and do a breakdown.
provided by McGraw-Hill.
A man having a breakdown during the Leading Edge advert.
Service centers, news of developments in computer technology worldwide.
I like the background music to this Byte. As I said in the beginning, somebody said it was a Casio, but there's a bit of a bass kick on the dum 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 dum. The Da Vinci Code. Thank you very
Software
much.
and languages cover developments in computer technology worldwide.
Lovely stuff. The two boys, Gary Kildall and his protege. A picture of some computer-aided design. CAD. I like the way they use these shots of Gary. I'd say Gary was happy seeing that they did the outro with him. Absolutely fucking brilliant stuff. Absolutely insane stuff there from the stew pot, the stew man, Fu Man Stew, Chairman Stew. I remember that mouse mat picture that was printed out of him. He looked like Chairman Mao. Chairman Stew. Steve Jobs, President and CEO of Next Computer Corp. And I've been watching a lot of Steve Jobs content. And it's recommending that how the GPUs work. I don't want to get it ensnared in a fucking algorithm run here. I mean, I want to keep it stew. But this is interesting stuff. The Sony Mini is the not forgotten. I don't want anything new. We go back out there and we make sure we click watched on our Viper Chronicles, courtesy of Dara website there. A review of the new Intel 386 chip and the new super fast computers and applications that take advantage of its speed. That's what we've just seen there. Speed. We can click watched and that's us done. That's another box ticked in this compendium. Season 4, still a lot of untread depths and untreaded paths taken. In fact, the majority of Season 4 is still unseen stuff. What was I thinking about though? CES, I mentioned CES there, and then I thought maybe there's a CES in this, but maybe not. Maybe in the 80s CES wasn't happening then, so it might have to be a situation where we move on a year or 2 years. I mean, obviously, you know the tempo and the vibe really increases. It gets a lot faster. It's a fast-paced show when it gets to the fucking 90s. But I don't mind the slow, languid, sort of in-depth conversational vibe that you get with the 80s series as well, especially for the afternoon. Like, you know, I I think late 90s Stew is more of a Stew After Darks, or a Computer Chronicles, because it becomes like a nighttime affair. I also associate it with getting drunk, you know, drinking beer and watching it and going fucking apeshit and jumping around. So it's a different beast. It's a different can of worms. Season 5. Computer games. Decision support software. Macworld. San Francisco. I think, sorry, I went off on the AI tangent there. What annoyed the fuck out of me there was seeing the Google keynote speech. After watching a rake of fucking Steve Jobs speeches, I saw the Google one from the other week. It was just shite, man. It was just like, obviously they've made a fucking step forward on their video AI, whatever, and now it makes Will Smith eating spaghetti look really real and not stupid. And like, but it's just the same sort of fucking, so what, man? It just looks a little bit better. To kind of give you an idea of what I'm fucking going on about and shiting on about here, I might as well put it on Steve Ballmer. That there, what was that? Google I.O. Google I.O. Google I.O. Ugh. Yeah, I'm doing exactly what I said I was giving out about, but this is what they were. This is one of the biggest companies in the world. I think they think that we'd be impressed by it, that it's all video generated, you know. I didn't see this now. I mean, I could end up watching this now and being impressed by it. I didn't see it. Is she real?
This town ain't...
No, she's not even real. But it's not. That's not what I want. Do you know? I want to see someone who's real in it. Thank you very much there for the tip, Varney Teabag.
Seen nothing yet.
But I mean, it is fucking impressive, actually. See, I'm stuck between the devil and a deep blue sea here, because it is impressive. And I actually saw something the other day then. It was like an old man in a wheelchair stuck on a fucking rooftop, and the fire crew were trying to get him down. And I believed it. I genuinely was, like, I was a sucker. I believed that it was real, you know? Everybody in the comments was going, what was he doing on the fucking roof? How did he get up there? And it wasn't real. It was false. I mean, will AI be able to make music as good as this song here from the late 90s? Can't remember. Yeah, we are here, my here. Bear, ba, bear, be happen, bada, boo. Hey, sir, is happen, bada, bada. The New Radicals. And then my head floats out from behind the general store with the balloons, the monkey, the whale, and the beast. The octopus. The werewolf, the fucking... The creepy clown, the nun, the grim reaper, the gorilla, the whale, the creepy octopus, the balloon. The mighty balloon. Greatly enhanced your reputation. Thank you very much. Yes, it's gonna be really sick. We got a great animation lineup. It's totally AI. We got a bag full of gummy bears just pops out as a Wild West sort of Dust Bowl general store, and you've got these little macaque monkeys, a giant chocolate bar. Robbie, thanks for the...
We got a giant chocolate bar, a couple of big lollipops, and an android, and a couple of macaque monkeys running around there. And you got those big, juicy gummy bears inside a sack. Charlie the monkey comes out, and it's gonna blow people away.
You got parakeets. It's too much. It's like an overload. It's an assault. It's actually an assault on the fucking senses. Give me a moment to think. We got a watermelon that looks like a Minecraft pixelated watermelon, and that will play well with the Palestine situation. We got capybaras and flamingos having a picnic inside the Dust Bowl town. We got that idea that came from Malthus. Who the fuck are they appealing to here? This is a tech company. Get a fucking grip, lads. Do you want to you want to appeal to grown people, do you? With this. This isn't it. It's just God, emojis as well. Like animals in cute animals in advertising. You know, it's just so many fucking adverts in between the big shows that you see or big sporting events. Adverts that have animals living in human houses and shit like that and doing human stuff. It's cute, it's funky, it's friendly, it's nice. It's just sick of it, man. You know, do something better now, please, will you? Do something better. You've got deep pockets. Don't fucking give us this AI shit. Give it to me now! Will you leave it in? They did. I'm glad that they left that bit in. Where is this fucking arena look? The Google Bowl. Give it to me now! Oh, it's so fucking sickening. Everyone with their fucking phones.
Wow, cool video. Looks like the team has been having some fun. Hello everyone, good morning. Wow, cool video. Looks like the team has been having some fun. Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Google I/O.
I can't watch this anymore.
So good to see everyone here in Shoreline. And
Such a
hello
lie.
to everyone joining
What a
virtually
liar.
around. Defeated the Elite Four and the
Pokemon playthrough. Then again, you know, it is Google. What are you expecting from fucking Google? Like, I want to see tech. I want to see hardware. Do you know? I want to see something you can hold that's shiny. It does some cool stuff. What's the price? When's it out? What will it do? That doesn't happen anymore. Nobody's doing any of that stuff. It's just like, it's all shit that's in the ether. It's like,
we've been bringing underlying technology from Starline into Google Meet. That includes real-time speech translation to help break down language barriers. Here's an example of how this could be useful when booking a vacation rental in South America and you don't speak the language. Let's take a look.
Hi, Camilla. Let me turn on speech translation. That sounds
I mean, you could have done it in a different. I mean, obviously not like that, but I mean, translate that power was delivering. That's the general feeling I've got so far. The last, what has it been, like 3 years now of total AI annihilation to the senses.
Rolling out in the next few weeks, and real-time translation will be coming to enterprises later this year. Another early research project that debuted on the I/O stage was Project Astra. It explores the future capabilities of a universal AI assistant that can understand the world around you. We are starting to bring it to our products. Today, shading trust.
Pretty nice convertible.
I think you might have mistaken the garbage truck for a convertible.
Convertible. That's a pretty nice convertible.
I think you might have mistaken the garbage truck for a convertible. Is there anything else I can help you with?
What's this skinny building doing in my neighborhood?
It's a street light, not a building.
I'd fucking smash that phone into 1,000 pieces and scatter the remnants into the wind. If it wasn't so expensive.
Why are these palm trees so short? I'm worried about them.
They're not short. They're actually pretty tall.
Sick convertible.
Garbage truck again. Anything else?
Why do people keep delivering packages to my lawn?
It's not a package, it's a utility box.
Why is this person following me wherever I walk?
No one's following you. That's just your shadow.
You know, I mean, does that warrant a fucking clap and a big? You know, that's not like a revelation like the iPhone or the iPod or anything like that. But people are loving it. I think this guy couldn't hide his contempt when you see somebody doing that. You know, with their eye, that's a bad sign. That's when you know whatever you're selling it's shit probably. And a guy there who couldn't even be arsed looking up. These crowd shots are very telling. She fucking loved it. Wasn't that funny? Wasn't even funny. And this guy couldn't be fucked.
Gemini is pretty good at telling you when you're wrong.
Yeah, I'll be fucking smashing Gemini into the fucking wall. As long as it's ensconced in some sort of cheap tat that I don't mind ruining. I'm obviously not going to throw my phone at the fucking wall, but Gemini. Fucking Gemini. Gemini, my fucking ring. And apologies for the swearing there. I'm just thinking about how annoying it is, right? When you Google and then Gemini. Now you Google stuff and it says Gemini's after you. Oh, don't worry. Gemini's got you covered, man. Come here. Gemini wants to meet you. Would you be up for that? You know, that's where it's going to go.
It finds listings from sites like Zillow that match your criteria and uses Project Mariner when needed to adjust very specific filters. If there's an apartment you want to check out, Gemini...
You can put -AI at the end of your search and it won't do that. I shouldn't have to do that, Auxiliary Phoenix. Do you know? I just shouldn't have to do that.
Now uses MCP to access the listings and even reality.
Let's just see some of the presentations here.
Sketches into interactive apps to simulating entire 3D cities. The new 2.5 Pro tops the popular coding leaderboard Web Dev Arena. And now that it incorporates LearnLM, our family of models built with educational experts.
Yeah, it's boring, man. Large language models.
Critical for robotics. AI systems will need world models to operate effectively in the real world. We fine-tuned...
So nothing cool. Sorry, the general point and gist of looking at this was 2 hours of just what's coming down the line in terms of AI on your devices. No products, not even a Pixel phone,
hopping on
not even a watch or a new
video
piece
call
of technology.
with search. I have 3 kids, and they ask about 1 million questions a minute. And with summer right around the corner, the team and I decided to put Search Live to the ultimate test, helping us and our kids tackle something new. We recorded at home with our families just this.
No thanks.
How billions of apparel products look on a wide variety of people. And
no thanks.
Imagine you're a student. You've got a big physics exam looming, and instead of
no thanks,
image quality is higher. The speed is faster. The text is better. All of this lets you make posters, party invites, and anything else. And with Gemini's native image generation, you can easily edit these images too, right in the app. We've also made a super fast variant of Imagen 4. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it. In fact, it's 10 times faster than our previous model, so you can iterate through many ideas quickly. All right, I want to show you one last thing.
All right.
Images are incredible, but sometimes you need motion and sound to tell the whole story.
Oh yeah, this is it. Sorry, this is the reason I am aware of this, is the fucking clip of the videos that they're generating now, and they did this this fucking sailor at sea, and they were like, this will blow your mind. Take a look at this. And he's like with a pipe at sea going, I have ridden the waves for 7 years, and all my life I've been on the waves, and the sea will bring you down.
December, VO2 came out, and it redefined video generation for our new state-of-the-art model, VO3.
You know, if did AI write this speech, you're asking there, no jaw, Jimmy. But they could have fucking demonstrated how good the AI was by just doing this whole thing in AI. That would have made a much better point. We wouldn't be left with the lingering kind of awkward pauses that you get, which punctuate these excruciating keynotes, you know. And then we would have had a great demonstration. Not impressed. He wasn't.
And like a lot of other things you've heard about from Stage today, it's available today. The visual quality is even better. Its understanding of physics is stronger. But here's the leap forward. VO3 comes with native audio generation. That means that VO3 can generate sound effects, background sounds, and dialogue. Now you prompt it, and your characters can speak. Here's a wise old owl and a nervous young badger in the forest. Take a listen.
What would George Chaffee say?
Higher than I can jump. What manner of magic is that? Higher than I can jump. What manner of magic is that?
Great stuff. A wise old owl and a fucking inquisitive badger.
They left behind a ball today. It bounced higher than I can jump. What manner of magic is that?
All right, what else? Very good. You got a little squirrel there too. What else? There's nobody here to rein these cunts in. They've got a free rein. They've got a stage and a captive audience who have been bribed with Google fucking goodie bags and caps. You need a shark. You need a mercenary. You need someone who's going to fucking interrogate. You need a driver. And they don't have that. We don't believe in any of these people. They don't captivate me.
Pretty cool, right? VO added not just the sounds of the forest, but also the dialogue. We're entering a new era of creation. with combined audio and video generation that's incredibly realistic. The quality is so good, it feels like you're there on the boat with this guy.
This made me laugh because it's fake.
This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking light.
Woo! The photorealistic generation, the emotion, the movement of his mouth and the ocean in the background.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw what you did. We don't need it explained again. It was shit. It was underwhelming. And you could sense the palpable, underwhelming feeling permeating through the Googleplex, Google Bowl, whatever you call this absolute fucking arena of pain.
So good. It feels like you're there on the boat with this guy.
This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands...
Look at that. Somebody down there then filming this on their fucking phone and probably... What are they going to status update with that on a fucking website? Or are they going to keep it for later? Are they going to look back on that? It's just insane, isn't it? I mean, you even... if it's a live gig with a fucking real artist, I can understand, but this is the pits. This is the absolute pits. An AI man on a fucking screen, and then you're recording that. Come on, man.
Your awe with a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking light.
They couldn't even be arsed putting a transition or an end or a cross, or a fade out on that clip with like a VO3 logo. Rushed, very rushed. Stockton rush.
Movement.
Stockton, California.
Of his mouth and the ocean in the background. It's incredible how fast VO continues to evolve as a powerful creative tool. And we've been working closely with the film industry to imagine what's possible with VO and to get this right. And you'll hear more about that in a few minutes. So that's what's happening around Gemini. Starting today, Gemini Live capabilities are free and rolling out across Android and iOS. Deep research are free around Gemini.
Sorry, just thinking about that fella there isn't fucking real.
So that's what's happening around.
Like, he's just held our attention for a few moments, this guy, this sailor man. And then that's the end of him there. We'll never see that guy again. He wasn't even real to begin with.
Starting today, Gemini Live capabilities are free and rolling out across Android and iOS. Deep research.
There's no way that's free. You'll have to pay
Canvas are getting their biggest updates yet. There's a new agent mode coming for multi-step actions that you heard about earlier. We're introducing Gemini in Chrome to help you navigate the web, and you can create stunning images.
Gemini.
Using the new Imagine 4 and VO3 models. It's all coming together in the Gemini app as we work to deliver the most personal, proactive, and powerful AI assistant. And now, to go into more detail about how these generative models are unlocking creative expression, here's Jason.
Jason Baldridge is after you. So we're creating these brand new dreamscapes for you. And all you got to do is use it and look at all the wade through the mountains of ads to get to the fucking thing that you want to do, making us millions of billions of dollars. Woo! Is Jason Baldridge even fucking real? Look, this could be another hoodwink job. That's they've put AI hair on him, maybe.
Thanks, Josh.
Lovely tune there. That's Jason Baldridge's signature intro theme tune, which might or might not have been made by AI.
Thanks, Josh. Whether you're a creator, a musician, or filmmaker, Generative media is expanding the boundaries of creativity.
Or a slob. Generative media has something for you.
By working closely with the artistic community since the very beginning, we continue to build technology that empowers their creative process. For example, we worked with musicians to develop Music AI Sandbox.
You've got the Wyclef, you've got the Jin Jin, you've got the Shankar Madhavan, you've got the Rodney Jerkins.
It's a tool for professionals to explore the possibilities of our generative music model, Lyria, in their work. Let's watch a clip starring the legendary Grammy Award-winning singer and composer Shankar Mahadevan putting Music AI Sandbox and Lyria to use.
I'm Shankar Mahadevan, and I'm a music composer, singer, producer, and a happy man. Working with Sandbox is great. We inputted our requirement, and it gave us a bed. We used that bed, and we came up with this song. For a musician, but it's such an inspiring tool. You open a door and you see, hey, there's another room there. And then you open one more door and you say, one more room there. So that's what AI does.
So then what do they do? Do they retroactively go back and then replace any of the AI building blocks that they've made with their own stuff? But the soul of the fucking piece is then lost, is it not? Because it's been made, you know, well, what would you, artificially. But then you're getting real stuff off the back of the artificial stuff. So, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. And that's great. Uberuhu.
Amazing.
Half the comments here are AI. I hope not. RJ Coyle. I'm hoping that it never gets to that way. I won't be able to keep up with that. What will happen if that's the case? There's fucking fake AI comments in this. Who's to say? Maybe some people are fucking pretending. Maybe some people have got AI up and running now, and then they're writing the comments.
Lyria 2 is available today for enterprises, YouTube creators, and musicians. This focus on collaboration carries over.
They're trying to get us into shorts again. Look, fuck off with your YouTube shorts, lads. What am I gonna what am I gonna do with that time? 60 seconds is not enough.
Creators and musicians.
It's
this focus on collaboration carries over not just into what we build, but how. Right now, it's not easy for people or organizations to detect AI-generated images. This will become only more true as technology improves and the music, audio, images, and videos become more lifelike. So, we're continuing to innovate in this space. 2 years ago, we pioneered SynthID, which embeds.
Come on to fuck. Where's the beef? Where's the meat?
Film has always been this deeply human act of connecting people with each other's stories.
Oh, so they made a film out of AI and he's involved in it. Oh, they used some of the scenes were made with AI.
Video we could never capture otherwise.
So, but you didn't capture it. You're saying we've got footage that we could never capture without AI. But you didn't capture it. It's not captured.
Video we could
just
never
made up.
VO is
it's a made up scene.
So the models.
It's a lie.
I never thought
you're being sold a lie.
This was supposed to be a checkup.
Is my baby gonna be okay?
We can do everything we can.
Am I gonna be okay?
For every creature that came before you. From every star that died so that you could begin.
Incredible work.
That got a big one. That got a real big resounding applause.
Eliza combined live-action performance with VO-generated video, like the microscopic worlds, the cosmic events, and herself as a newborn.
Wow. Just gonna fucking skip through this here. What was this? Give me a fucking... this is generative pictures of a low-angle 8mm wide lens shot, hand shifting gears in a shaky fast car.
Start to assemble all of those clips together. With a single prompt, you can describe what you want, including very precise camera controls.
I mean, there's already a lot of disdain for the media artifacts of the day, even before AI had entered the playing field, or AI had entered the chat, as they say now. You know, I would have looked at this on an advert for fucking whatever it is, insurance, or I don't know, pepperami, or whatever meat sticks or fucking shite they're selling. I would have said, look at that shite, just a load of fucking shite. And now it's a load of shite, but it's not even real shite, it's just made in a computer. So in a way, maybe hats off to them for that. At least they're not expanding resources making shite. But I mean, even more, the disdain has increased. I think the disdain has increased.
Puts everything
AI Zig, thank you very much there for the tip.
In place. And I can keep iterating in the scene builder. Now here's where it gets really exciting. If I want to capture the next shot of the scene, I can just hit the plus icon to create the next shot. I can describe what I want to happen next, like adding a 10-foot tall chicken in the back seat, and Flow will do the rest. The character consistency, the scene consistency, it just works. And if something isn't, quite right, no problem. You can just
hear the voice.
Works. And if something isn't, quite right, no problem. You can just go back in like any other video tool and trim it up if it's not working for you.
I think basically the next few years is just the exact same presentation given by all the companies, but look at how better it looks now with this brand new model. But where's the big clincher? You know, the big kicker. And it's sad to see. It actually makes Google look shit. They're a behemoth, and this is what they're bringing to the table, lads. We've had this video shite for a few years now. Just because it's got a little bit better, you're meant to be the biggest show in town, and this is what you're fucking showing the world, is it? A flying fucking chicken on a car. Come on, man. You ran the world there for the last 20 years, Google. This isn't going to run the world. Nobody's going to run that world. Nobody wants to be in that world. It's shit. They're loving it though. They're lapping it up.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I want you to hear
pretty awesome. It's not even awesome. I've literally just given a speech about how unawesome. There's no awe involved in any of the reception to that scene there. The chicken on the car flying away. No awe. Absolutely 0%. Minus percent awe. Disdain. I'll hammer it home again, lads. Pretty disdainful.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I want you to hear just a few words from a few of our AI film.
The way people just say something is the way it is, and then, if you have enough power, then people just go along with it. And, maybe it is awesome. Maybe that is awesome. Like, he's actually defining what life is for some people. I think there's some people out there like,
pretty
this
awesome.
is
Pretty
class
awesome.
now.
I want you to hear just a few words from a few of our AI filmmakers.
And that would be across the board, young and old,
To shape Flow, how they describe how it feels using it, and how they're making it even better. Let's take a watch.
I don't know if I'm on the right path, but I'm trying to find it. I'm questioning, searching, and then something shifts, and I'm not trying anymore. I'm just doing. And
it's like they're describing being in the flow state of creativity. But it's just prompts into a fucking GPU, into a computer. It goes to a warehouse full of computers.
all of the pieces start falling into place.
it all feels pretty clear in my head. I see these like flashes of possibilities,
cake.
Almost like I'm traveling through dimensions.
In the back of a car.
I'm looking down at myself and my characters in the...
Like a woman, I want a fucking woman, and she's got a lava lamp for a torso. She gets out of a car after performing surgery in the back of the fucking car, and then they start doing pottery, and then it explodes, and then a whale comes down and shits on someone, and everyone just fucking starts laughing, and then gummy bears come out of some fella's arse, and then a teddy with the face of Rick Moranis falls asleep, and he wakes up inside Princess World, Narnia. It's the new Disney film. Irish Vegan Muscle Man, thank you very much for the tip.
These different worlds, and it's almost coming to life on their own, even though I know I'm in control of that narrative. It feels like it's almost building upon itself at some point. You know, you could have an infinite amount of endings to your story.
So the work is
where does it go? You know, where does it go after this? Then we've reached infinity possibilities. What's the next fucking step after that? They're only increasing the realization that we're limited. It's going to increase the rate of existential crisis by, as they say, 10x, by 20,000x.
It's brick by brick by brick. It blooms like a spontaneous garden. It grows naturally, fully vibrant and complete.
I'm not forcing it. I'm just finding it, and that's when I know I'm in the right place.
That's like that's as if it's someone who's making a fucking song or doing like a bit of art. But it's prompts, really, isn't it? I mean, it'll become an art form in and of itself. Not impressed, look. Not impressed. It don't work. Not impressed now. It's only shit. I don't like the stuff you showed.
So amazing.
Awesome. And another lady on the phone there, not even bothered about what's just gone on, look. Just goes to show. It really didn't land well, even with the disciples of the Googletron. Google 5000, and then you've got this situation right here. It's a thank you very much there. Thank you very much there. AI is meh. Thank you very much there. And Anaconda G, lovely slice of ham. How ham you? Thank you very much there for the tip, Anaconda G. And AI, listening to you shite on while I work at my job that will soon be replaced by AI's quite comforting cheers. Thank you very much. I mean, look, it's coming for everything, isn't it? It will replace everything. It'll all be AI. It'll go to the shops. It'll be AI, served by an AI. There won't even be shops anymore because they're moving it towards the whole fucking DoorDash scenario. The AI will get to a state. The shops will be a thing of the past. All they want is all. I mean, they don't want. It's not like there's a conspiracy, but it's just the rapacious movement of the gears of this whole superstructure are moving at such a way is that the reality, the depressing reality, will happen without. It doesn't even need to be planned anymore, you know. And what's more, AI will do all the fucking donkey work to make sure that we don't have any shops and we just have stuff delivered to us because the AI realized that we were out of tea, do you know? And where's the fun in that? But then there'll be a fucking pushback, won't there? There'll be a definite pushback. Tupo, thank you very much for the tip. Where we go, no, I'm not buying into that. I'm gonna go to the shop to buy my tea. Thank you very much, and I'll fucking enjoy that little walk out there. I mean, they're gonna create a generation that is not healthy because we've been catered to by the techno masses. You know, it'll be the downfall of society without even any planning. It's not like a big fucking plan. As I said there a second ago. I mean, you can get conspiratorial about it, but it's just gonna happen, and maybe we will actually have gone to the next realm before it gets totally shit. That's the only bit of comfort I'm getting from it at the moment, you know. And he looks fucking good in that suit, doesn't he? Fair play to him.
Amazing to hear those filmmakers
I don't think there's anything
their
else.
Incredible visions to life, and that feeling of building, of creating. That's exactly what we want to put in your hands today. So I'm excited to share that we're upgrading and 2 AI subscription plans today. We will have Google AI.
Here we are, the hard sell. You can, and the good news, all of this is completely free. Hey. But we also have our subscription plan
Pro and the all-new Google AI Ultra. With the Pro plan, which is going to be available globally, you'll get a full suite of AI products with
$20 a month,
higher rate limits and special features compared to the free version. This includes
$20 a month.
Includes the Pro version of the Gemini app that was formerly known as Gemini Advanced. Then there's the Ultra plan. It's for the trailblazers.
Ultra plan at a snip, $250 a month.
The pioneer.
What the fuck do you get for that? The big $250 a month. I suppose it's for people who are in companies and shit like that. Deep Think, VO3 Flow with VO, Whisk with highest limits, Notebook language model with highest limits. And they were saying that, you know, the amount of energy being wasted on just people talking shite to these things is insane. And then we're getting it in the fucking neck for our emissions and our fucking, I don't know, ecological indiscretions.
Those of you who want cutting-edge AI from Google, the plan comes with the highest rate limits, the earliest access to new...
YouTube Premium is thrown in to the mix. Well, thank God for that. Because you'd have to pay €20 to have that anyway. Fucking scumbags. Did you get that in the other one? No, you don't get that one in. You should have at least thrown in YouTube Premium for that. For €20 a month. That's a steal then. In a way. Maybe not. No, it's not. It's still not a steal. It's a steal, all right. Google fucking stealing your money.
Then, those of you who want cutting-edge AI from Google, the plan comes with the...
This stream, by the way, brought to you by Google.
Highest rate limits, the earliest access to new features and products from across Google. It's available in the US today, and we'll be rolling it out globally soon. You can think of this Ultra plan and a massive...
Oh God, I can't believe that I fucking gave out about AI for a minute. And then I've spent an hour maybe looking at AI stuff. Cannot fucking believe it. Absolute hypocrisy. And oh yeah, there was a tech demonstration. That was a fail. It was a tech fail. Yes. We love to see the tech failures. We love to see the tech failures. Live streaming glasses.
Let's see how they work in the most hectic environment possible right now, backstage at I.O. Our very own superwoman, Nishta, is back there to show us how these glasses work for real. Let me send her a text now, and let's get...
To be honest, though, I did want to see, at least at this stage, 10 years after maybe the fucking initial Google Glass product was brought to us. I've never seen it in reality. even for doing a stream like this, it would be handy to be able to see. Maybe it wouldn't, but cool to have the option of being able to see, the chat or any other information that's going on without having to clutter the fucking monitor. But that's it, and that still hasn't been done. Still hasn't been done. Nobody has done that, and you'd think that would be the most simple thing to do now, with all the technology they have. But they just haven't done it. They're more focused on this. I don't know what they're fucking thinking with this. They want people now to be wearing glasses with cameras in them. Do you know? That's what they're after now. Skellington, thank you very much there for the tip. Watching this while helping to build more data centers for these AI knob jockeys. Thank you very much, and Captain Sack as well.
Started.
Hey everyone. Right now, you should be seeing exactly what I'm seeing through the lens of my Android XR glasses. Like my delicious coffee over here, and that text from Shram that just came in. Let's see what he said. All right, it's definitely showtime, so I'm gonna launch Gemini and get us going. Send Shram a text that I'm getting started, and silence my notifications, please.
Okay, I've sent that message to him and muted all your notifications.
Perfect.
Oh, hey, Nishta.
Hey, Dieter.
I see the lights on your glasses, so I think it's safe to say that we're live right now?
Yes, we're officially on with the I.O. crew.
Hey, everybody. It is pretty great to see I.O. from this angle. Nishta, you promised me I could get my own pair of Android XR glasses if I helped out back here, so what do you say?
Of course. Let's get coffee after this, and I'll bring you those glasses.
Awesome. We'll see you then. Good luck.
Thank you.
It was good. In fairness, it was good acting from that buck. It was believable,
See, there's a ton going on.
And here is where it starts to glitch out. Look, it's lovely to see.
Here, so
thank you very much there again, Captain Sack.
what do you say?
Of course. Let's get coffee after this, and I'll bring you those glasses.
Awesome. We'll see you then. Good luck.
Thank you. There's a ton going on backstage. And is that pro basketball player Giannis wearing our glasses?
I love it. This plays out both of my hands for double high fives.
Nice. Let me keep showing you guys what these glasses can do. I've been curious about this photo wall all day. Like, what band is this, and how are they connected to this place?
This isn't working now, because right at the moment where I'm laughing at this is a real fucking embarrassing moment. Because I'm laughing at their stream or their presentation glitching and going tits up. And the reality is, my own stream is fucking glitching at the same time. I have been done. I've just been done by these lads over at the fucking Google Sphere. Maybe they're watching. Maybe they got wind of it. You wouldn't even know. Maybe it's an AI thing. Obviously, they fucking took my video down before because they heard the AI had heard that I'd said something dodgy about vaccinations back in 2020, and that was only a hypothetical I was having as well, but they didn't care. So what's to say there's an AI probably is watching this now or listening in for me taking the piss out of Google, and then they're sabotaging my stream as well at the same time.
To this place. Like, what band is this, and how are they connected to this place?
Lovely. It's glitching.
A legend rock band. Yeah, shows a shoreline amphitheater.
That count in quote a legendary rock band. The play numerous shoreline amphitheater.
A legend rock band. Yeah, shows a shoreline amphitheater, which are often seen as homecoming shows for the band.
I mean, Counting Crows, like, would you say legendary? Like, I don't know where are the hits. Where are the hits? There was one song, wasn't there, that played? It wasn't like a smash. Wasn't a fucking smash at all.
No way. Can you show me a photo of one of their performances here?
Sure. Here's one. Want me to play one of their songs?
I'd love that. I can listen while I make my way to the stage.
Great. Here's Under the Aurora by Counting Crows.
Okay, who's ready to see these glasses? Here comes Nishta. Welcome, Nishta.
Hey, everyone.
Thanks for that star-studded behind-the-scenes look. By the way, do you want to book that coffee with Dita now?
Yes, the crew actually gave me some awesome coffee backstage, so let me try something fun. Gemini, what was the name of the coffee shop on the cup I had earlier?
That might have been Bloomsgiving. From what I can tell, it's a vibrant coffee shop on Castro Street.
Great memory.
Great memory. Bloomsgiving is after you.
Vibrant coffee shop on Castro Street.
Great memory. Can you show me the photos of that cafe? I want to check out the vibes.
The vibes want to be checked out.
Definitely. Do these photos from Maps help?
Oh, I know that spot. It's a flower shop as well as a coffee shop, but it is
Oh
downtown.
my God, imagine fucking having conversations with people and just having like pictures of Google reviews and images overlaid on reality itself. How fucking ignorant. Do you know? How fucking ignorant.
Okay. Gemini, show me what it would take to walk here.
Getting those directions now. It'll take you about an hour.
Okay. I can get some steps in, and these heads-up directions and a full 3D map should make it super easy.
Look, I'd be lying if I wasn't said I am slightly impressed with how you'd have all that information. You don't have to look at your phone. But the fact of the matter is, it'll probably be too pricey to have. It's still not there yet. This is all just Google's applications on it. I mean, you'd want these things to be fucking hacked. You'd want to hack it. You want to have custom fucking software and firmware on it. That wouldn't be available because, as it is, everything is so cloud-based now that it's just not going to happen. The glasses as well are too big, and fucking the frames are too wide. It's so stylistically, it's not there. You don't have a choice.
Go ahead and send Dieter an invite for that cafe and to get coffee at 3 p.m. today.
I'll send out that invite now. Enjoy the coffee.
As you saw, Gemini helped Nishta search what she sees, remember details like the coffee cup, book an event, even navigate.
The coffee talk.
Details like the coffee cup.
The coffee tuck.
Book an event, even navigate, all without taking her phone out of her pocket. I'm even wearing the glasses right now too.
And it's such a real formulaic presentorial style. There's no heart in the delivery. So, they can fucking go balls to the wall on their AI toys and whatnot, but just get someone who can get on a stage and who people find amusing, entertaining, or captivating, or engaging in some way. But when you're going off a fucking script like this fella obviously is, it just doesn't sell the technology or the product at all. It's shockingly basic stuff from a behemoth. And you've Steve Jobs is long gone. You've the blueprint of how to do this. All you have to do is find that person. It's easy to find that one person who has that charisma. Or it's not even charisma, it's just someone who believes in it.
Out of her pocket. I'm even wearing
out of her pocket.
The details like the coffee cup, book an event, even navigate, all without taking her phone out of her pocket. I'm even wearing the glasses right now too. They're my personal teleprompter, and I have prescription lenses so I can see you all.
Too much going on, man. Too much going on.
Okay, Nishta, this is a big moment for glasses. Let's capture it.
Yes, get ready for a quick photo, everyone, and let's bring out our star.
Here comes Dieter.
Dieter is back in town.
Take a photo for me. All right, Gemini, take a photo for me and add it to my favorites.
That looks amazing.
Lies.
I'm completely starstruck. Okay.
No, you're not, man. It's the delivery of that line. Can you not hear yourself? How the delivery of what you're saying undermines the fucking note that you're hitting.
I'm completely starstruck. Okay, one last thing.
Just meant to be lighthearted.
Sundar showed what's possible.
It's just meant to be, he's just having a laugh, meant to be lighthearted. I'm not meant to take it seriously at all, but, you know, it just wouldn't have flew with Jobs.
With live chat translation earlier. Let's see what that's like on glasses. This is a very risky demo, but we're going to give it a shot. Nishta and I are going to speak to each other in our mother tongues. Nishta's going to speak Hindi. I'm going to speak Farsi, very poorly. And you'll see the feed from both of our glasses back here. And so you can all follow along. We'll show an English translation in real time. Okay?
Will it work? Will it work?
Let's give it a shot.
This is the big moment.
Fingers crossed. بسیار خوب. حالا میتونی ببینی حرفای من ترجمه میشن از فارسی به انگلیسی.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. अब मेरी पूरी दुनिया खुल जाती है और मैं सब कुछ समझ सकती हूँ आसानी से.
حالا میتونی با همه آدمای دنیا صحبت بکنی و برای مامان و بابام ببخشین. فارسی من خیلی بده.
Nothing's happening, look. It's fucked up.
See, we said it's a risky demo. Let's...
Someone needs to be fucking interrogated and fired for that. That was an absolute disgrace for the company.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I want answers and I want names and heads to roll from that. As a fucking long-term supporter of Google, I am sickened.
Thank you, Nishta, for that awesome tour of Android XR glasses. We're so excited about the possibilities when you have an incredible...
You know, when people have to say that they're excited about stuff, it's... Can they not see or can they not imagine how that looks? It doesn't. You need to fucking be the excitement, man.
Helpful. We're so excited about the possibilities when you have an incredibly helpful AI assistant by your side with these Android XR devices. But that's not all. We're taking our partnership with Samsung to the next level by extending Android XR beyond headsets to glasses.
I'm so excited to be here.
We're creating the software and reference hardware platform to enable the ecosystem to build great glasses alongside us. Our glasses prototypes are already being used by trusted testers, and you'll be able to start developing for glasses later this year. Now, we know that these need to be stylish glasses that you'll want to wear all day. That's why I'm excited to announce today that Gentle Monster and Warby Parker will be the first eyewear partners to build glasses with Android XR. Woo! We want you to be able to wear glasses that match your personal taste. This is just the start. I can't wait for you to try Android XR for yourself, and we'll have lots more to share in the months ahead. Thank you so much.
Closing.
Walmart and the Red Cross provided relief efforts with drone deliveries. Supported by AI, we were able to deliver critical items like food and medicine to a YMCA shelter.
Done for you. Notebook LM's mind map completely transforms learning.
Why is this person following me wherever
Why is this person following me wherever
I walk? That's just your shadow.
Wait, you're gonna turn right?
No, thank you. Imagine it showed the Waymo cars on fire in fucking...
It's just your shadow.
The Google cars on fire in LA during the ICE riots.
Wait, you're gonna turn right?
Come on.
AI is completely changing how we fight fires.
Generative ICE riots.
Media is expanding the boundaries.
It's like a can of tuna. You open it up, and there's a little beach down there. Everybody enjoying life, having fun. Parasol, surfboard, surf waves.
Of creativity.
It was magic the first time I saw this.
This isn't just another tool.
It's a game changer.
This is just like
game changer.
Mind-blowing to me.
The potential
Mind blowing.
is almost limitless.
Unbelievable. I don't know how they have the fucking nerve. I don't know how they have the nerve to do that. The absolute brass balls of Google to get up there for 2 fucking hours and to sling that shite. Thank you very much, Sam Lee. Just say you can mark episodes you watched on the CHRONS Tracker 5000. Oh, great stuff. So I will be able to mark them myself. Great stuff. Click the empty checkbox. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Thank you very much. But just to get back to this, the reality, the real stuff, the stuff that just isn't here, that wasn't present in the Google I/O, whatever the hell that means, on off. Highlights from the annual Winter Consumer and Electronics Show in Las Vegas, featuring new personal technology products. Guests include Nolan Bushnell and Teamaker CEO Heidi Roizen. Products covered include the IBM PS1, the Commodore CD-TV, the Kodak Photo CD, Sansui, a Japanese outfit, Robot CD, Changer, and the Franklin Concise Columbia Encyclopedia, Brother Power Note, Laser PC4, Sega Game Gear, and the Miracle Piano Teaching System from Software Toolworks. Veritable array of features and pieces. It's something tangible, something you can hold, touch, and see. Not like this fucking Fugazi bullshit that they're selling on VO3 for $250 a month. You can make your own little personal private sailor man on the waves talk to you in the night. Waste of money. Nobody wants to see it either. There's no soul in it. But this has the soul. This is where the soul was born. CES, Las Vegas, City of Sin. Stew.
The Sharper Image is a store known for its electronic gadgets. It's not actually a computer store. You won't find anything for sale in here that actually has a disk drive, a keyboard, and a
the size of that fucking that snooker table in the background there. Is that a fucking miniature pool or billiards table? There's grown men that are playing it. And the walk-in from Stu there was sumptuous to begin with as well. It was a real nice intro. He knows what he's doing.
Actually a computer store. You won't find anything for sale in here that actually has a disk drive, a keyboard, and a monitor. But virtually everything for sale in here does have a computer chip or two hidden inside it. Indeed, the worlds of computer technology and consumer electronics are quickly merging. Today, we'll take a look at the growing role of computers in consumer electronics as we visit the annual Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas on this special edition of the Computer Chronicles.
Yes! Sorry, bit early for that. Bit early for that.
The Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by the Software Publishers Association, which reminds you it's a federal offense to copy software. The SPA provides information on how to stay software legal. Funding is also provided by PC
folks,
Connection and Mac.
You might be watching this thinking, yeah, it's a light-hearted look at products from the early 90s. But always remember to stay software legal.
Information on how to stay software legal. Funding is also provided by PC Connection and Mac Connection and by Byte Magazine and Bix.
Beautiful stuff. Another fade up. What would you call that? You say fade out? That's a fade in. It's a fade in. And he's got a little personal video recorder machine there. This is 3 or 4 years after the previous episode we seen. 4 or 5 years maybe. And then the studio has changed. You've still got some images of San Francisco, the Trans-America Pyramid, and some other tall building in the background as well. But it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. This again, it's the evolution of the studio. It hasn't reached its final form yet. We all know that real intense, vivid color palette and the geography of it all as well. It was more elongated. With behind-the-scenes shots of the cast and the crew and all that kind of stuff, really gave you a feeling like you were in it. You were involved in the fucking show itself. You made the show, you were watching it, but Stu knew that you wanted to be involved in it as well. Those were decisions he took years down the line when he had the confidence, you know.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee, and with me this week is Heidi Roizen, president of Teamaker Software. Heidi, this is a very good example of the merger of computer technology and consumer electronics. Now, what a camcorder does well is take good video pictures, right? What a computer can do well is graphics, animation, music, and so on. This does both. This Canon camcorder has a built...
I think it's a bit quiet, is it? Is the sound... It's not loud enough. For me. I don't know about G. But for me, that is not loud enough in the slightest. Can hear grand. This is the real hiccup. I mean, is it enough though? Is grand enough? Are you going to stake your claim on grand? Are we going to stay on grand? Or are we going to grandiose it up to 4 decibels? Let's have a look.
In computer on a chip, if you will. 2 of them actually. One to handle animation and graphics, one to handle music. In fact, what this is over here, these are little ROM cartridges with kind of...
What a fucking nightmare. You're on about putting... Is he on about doing graphics on the fly on the camera? That's not even something I do now in 2025. With all of the technology that we have. I wouldn't even do that. Thank you very much, Mike. 1991 Ryan. Very, very kind of you, Mike, for the tip there. But I wouldn't even be able to do that. It's too much going on. Just point and shoot. I don't need to be doing titles and graphics. What would you do? You'd preload titles and graphics onto these SD cards. And then you put, like, whatever it is, fucking The Great Escape title. And then you press that button and it would pop up and burn it into the fucking the video. A lot of pissing about.
One to handle music. In fact, what this is over here, these are little ROM cartridges with kind of clip art libraries of graphics and animation, a clip art library of music and sound effects.
And it would be clip art as well. It would only cheapen the eventual product, you know. Nobody wants to see something with clip art in it. I didn't even want to see clip art on the computer in a text document back when clip art was available. Thought it was rubbish. I definitely don't want to see it on a video.
It's really quite an astonishing merger of these 2 technologies we've been talking about. It seems to me not only are the technologies merging, but we're seeing the same kinds of problems on both sides, aren't we? The problem of friendly user interface, the problem of so much functionality that most people can't...
But it's not friendly, though.
Can't figure out how to use it.
Right.
Can't figure out how to use it. Stu is getting to the fucking root of the problem with this, is what I just said. It's great how I feel as though I'm in synchronicity with Stu, with what he's, you know, when he wants to get to the heart of the matter, it's not usually too far off from what I'm actually thinking about myself.
Only other
either.
technologies merging, but we're seeing the same kinds of problems on both sides, aren't we? The problem of friendly use.
I'm not in any way saying that I am on the same level as. I'm not trying to compare myself to him. If anyone's thinking, oh, that's what you're doing, it's not that way at all. Just feel like me and Stu, we understand, we're on a similar sort of fucking wavelength.
User interface, the problem of so much functionality that most people can't figure out how to use it.
Right, absolutely. I think each industry, as they merge, has a lot to learn from the other, and we both have quite a job in making all these things easier to use. I mean, I've been in the computer industry for a long time, and yet if you go to my house, you'll find that my VCR is flashing.
I thought that was a bit of a throwback to a dinosaur age when they just said that the only lady on the show was the tea maker. I didn't think that was right, but that's just a sign of the times and how things have changed since 1991.
They merge, has a lot to learn from the other, and we both have quite a job in making all these things easier to use. I mean, I've been in the computer industry for a long time, and yet if you go to my house, you'll find that my VCR is flashing 12 because I don't know how to set the time and I've never bothered. I look at something like this and I can guess that half the people who buy it will never use more than the record button on the back. Right. So I think we really have an opportunity taking this technology and making it easier to use, making it friendlier, so we get more out of the devices that we're creating.
Well, today we're going to take a look at the growing role of computers in consumer electronics. We'll see the merger of video and computers in Commodore's new CD-TV system. We'll see how Nintendo is turning the Game Boy into an adult product with TV system. We'll see how Nintendo is turning the Game Boy into an adult product with business product.
An adult product, an adult Game Boy. I wonder. I mean, I remember there was a printer, wasn't there? There was a camera. You could fucking put a camera on the Game Boy. I don't remember there being any sort of adult content available for that particular piece. Unfortunately, my Stew button isn't working. I have a little Stew button that plays Stewisms and Stew clips. The usual crack where it hasn't been assigned to the correct output.
Nintendo Game Boy productivity cartridges. So let's go right now to Las Vegas and the annual Winter Consumer Electronics Show. The 1991 Winter Consumer Electronics Show, or CES, was held in Las Vegas, Nevada, which also happens to be the site of Comdex, the biggest computer expo in the world. The CES is smaller than Comdex and features items you're not.
Just even that there as a bit of signage, it's something that is like, is that made of stone or blocks? But it's got a place for an LCD or LED screen or
in the
big
world.
screen.
The CES is smaller than Comdex.
Please don't drink and drive. Please.
And features.
I wonder, was there alcohol served at the Comdex? Was there a piss-up to be had there? Was there a bar?
There's items you're not likely to see at a computer show, like car alarms and cellular phones. But even if there weren't many computers at the CES, there was definitely a lot of computer technology wrapped up in consumer packages.
Again with the fish.
This year's CES had 33 computer companies exhibiting, a 50% increase over the previous year. Some exhibitors like
Boris Johnson, an early proto Johnson. They're from CES 1991. Bojo.
over the previous year. Some exhibitors like IBM were not introducing new products, but decided that it was simply a good idea to be present.
Well, really, with the launch of the PS1, we've entered the consumer electronic business.
PS1, not the PlayStation. And we must clarify that. PS1 was, I think, an IBM computer at the time. And here is Christopher Clough, Jonathan Christopher Clough of IBM/desktop systems.
And this is since the launch in September of 1990. This was the first opportunity for us to be at a national level, to see the kind of traffic that would come through, to listen to the dealers and the retailers, and to hear what they're saying about the PS1.
IBM's home computer, the PS1, was the platform for most of the applications on display, and most applications were noticeably colorful, graphic, and friendly looking.
Ease of use is key. People have to feel that they can get into it through the graphic interface and
The
have
GUI,
that
yeah, the
bundled
GUI, lad.
all-in-one type feeling. This is a completely market-driven product.
The idea of putting the PC into a familiar, friendly wrapper is also a major goal of Commodore, which premiered its
friendly wrapper.
TV. Friendly wrapper is also
product.
The idea of putting the PC into a familiar, friendly wrapper is also a major goal of Commodore, which premiered its CD TV, a black box with a CD-ROM player and a microprocessor inside.
And there it's got like a sort of a haptic or a touch pad peripheral, which then communicates to the computer what's going on.
The CD TV is a hybrid
And
of
there we have a handheld peripheral touch device for the gentleman here.
computer, video disc player, CD audio, and CD-ROM.
It looks like it's got a number pad on it as well, and then these two buttons here, possibly left and right mouse clicks. Who knows?
Operated by a handheld remote control.
Handheld remote control
Commodore
device.
calls it an interactive multimedia compact disc player. CD
Castle.
TV has its own multimedia compact disc player.
Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. And that's what that gentleman was doing. He was reading a story about a princess and a castle. From first look, you'd think a man of his status, his stature, his dress, he'd have bigger fish to fry than a princess and a castle. But it just goes to show you don't know what people are into these days, or those
CD
days.
TV is a hybrid of computer, video control. CD TV has its own CPU, a Motorola 68000, and 1 megabyte of RAM. But Commodore went to great lengths to make CD TV look like anything but a computer.
The consumer electronics business is oriented...
And Charlie Russell from Commodore is here to save the day.
...towards boxes.
Boxes.
Consumer electronics business is oriented towards boxes.
Boxes.
We are not selling a computer here, and we're not particularly selling a component that is separable from a CD player. The CD-ROM drive is an integral part of the player itself. So we took the very simple elements that I described and put them into one
audio and video jacks, as well as parallel and serial ports.
Look at that fucking rollerball locked by moving this little ball around on the peripheral itself. You have your little number pad for when things begin to kick off, and you've also your left and right mouse click buttons there as well.
There's even an
The stream went down, did it? When I was just getting into the nuts and bolts of this rollerball. Can't believe the stream went down. I was really singing the praises of this thing here. I said it was like a world, which was then allowing you to access a world of information. At the roll of a ball, at the touch of a ball, you had the world at your palm tips. And you also had your left and right, and your numpad, numerical keypad, whatever way you want to phrase that, it's just there for you.
An interface for a floppy disk.
And would it get hot holding this thing? I'm not sure. It's plugged in. It's plug and play. It's not a fucking battery operated infrared, Bluetooth, not really a thing then. It was wired to the hilt. Did it get warm? Did it get sweaty? Was it ergonomical?
Drive. Instead of a hard disk, the CD TV player has a memory card port where users can store data on.
And I like this little TV stand here just to keep the fucking unit cool as well. You've got this little metallic stand for the telly, and it just gives it a few more inches of, height. It elevates it and sets it on a stand, literally.
512K smart cards.
We decided to cards. That fella there having a great time looking at some fighter jets. Actual flying fucking death machines.
Users can store data on 512K smart cards.
We decided to package it like a piece of fine audio gear to make
Beautiful stuff. Nolan Bushnell. I like the way he speaks.
We decided to package it like a piece of fine audio gear to make it very user-friendly and usable in a living room environment. We really didn't want to build a computer. We wanted to build an entertainment and educational platform for the whole family. It's sort of the center of the educational hearth, if you would, or the center of the library of the future. And in a library you have movies and sounds and books of fiction, books of reference, and we wanted to bring all that together into the home.
Okay.
The Commodore booth contained a cross-section of CD/TV applications from the entertaining to the instructive.
Learn to read.
Discus
experience the vision
of CD/TV applications.
That wasn't them telling you just to learn to read. They're saying you can learn to read on our thing. It wasn't them just going learn to read, yeah, and then you can experience the vision. But you'd be able to experience it, you know, without being able to read. You could be illiterate
to the
and still admire the stuff on the screen. Maybe not that text about the princess.
Discus knowledge.
Here we are again, the paper bag princess.
Research demonstrated CD/TV software called Discus Books to teach reading skills to youngsters. The interface may look like a book, but the CD/TV technology makes it interactive.
And carried off control.
The music.
Discus children's books are
And he's still there. It's a different fellow, though, I think.
And children can pause the story at any point to get a translation. The user can also call up a pronunciation guide, syllables, and word definitions.
That's very, very cumbersome and clunky for a child to use. Even an adult would be, you'd be like, what does this do? How does this, it's not really intuitive.
Discus CD/TV books will be available in late March for under $70. Dominion
Dragon, which is the Spanish for dragon there. We did get a Spanish for dragon.
Books will be available in late March for under $70. Dominion software
Dragon.
presented an electronic
Dragon.
encyclopedia of military aircraft called Advanced Military Systems. The CD
Advanced Death Machines
based guide contains 1,500 photos of military aircraft along with a voice description or music on the CD's audio track.
All-weather vehicle attack. Michael Corcoran, thank you very much, Michael, for the tip there. I hope you're getting on well. Michael, the ruptured Achilles tendon, Corcoran to Michael Ryan. Would you ever cop on? Oh yeah, thank you very much there for the tip, Michael Ryan and Michael Corcoran. Two Michaels, two tips, one quality aircraft.
Aircraft along with a voice description or music on the CD's audio track.
All-weather bomber. It is used for close air support, interdiction, and deep strike.
Advanced military systems.
It is used to bomb innocent people and that's all for this week at Comdex.
Systems will be available for CD/TV players this spring for under $40.
It's really a new type of category. Laserdisc, for example, gives you movies, but it's a fairly linear process. CD audio gives you sound, but again, it's a fairly linear process. CD/TV gives you this capability of having reference works where you can explore and move throughout vast amounts of information at will.
The entertainment potential of CD/TV.
The internet before the internet existed. You could move from entertainment to information at will within the limits of what they had given you on a disc, you know?
Vast amounts of information at will.
The entertainment potential of CD/TV was demonstrated at the Tiger Media display. The case of the cautious condor.
He loved that, Lucky. He had to point that bit out.
TV was demonstrated at the Tiger Media display. The case of the cautious condor is the first.
The case of the cautious condor, look.
Rated at the Tiger Media display. The case of the cautious condor is the first of a series of interactive display. The case of the cautious condor is the first of a series of interactive mysteries called airwave adventures, styled after 1930s era.
Look at that. a pissed man getting fucking argy-bargy with someone in a I don't know, a night venue of some description because he's wearing a tux. The Case of the Curious Condor, is it? Unbelievable. And this is available on what? A CD-TV CD-ROM, is it? Yeah, you need to put that into the respective machine. You can't put that into a PC, although they probably did a PC
Interactive
version
mysteries called Airwave Adventures, styled after 1930s era radio dramas.
In my country, a gentleman would not insult the lady by fighting in her...
Oh, brilliant. We're getting audio for this. I just heard him say, usually in my country, a gentleman does not insult people like this. So it really fit, the dialogue actually fit that picture there of your man.
Cautious Condor.
A gentleman would not insult the lady by fighting in her presence.
Cautious Condor combines elements of computer adventure games with
raunchy,
colorful comic book style images. A narrative soundtrack and music complete the mood. Cautious Condor will be available.
That's some cautious ball work there on that trackpad. Just getting a close-up view of what I was going on about, how whoever's using that can just open up a world of opportunities by rubbing their palm or fingers across that ball 360 degrees. Any maneuver is possible, and then straight to the click box at the side of the
Cautious
unit.
Condor will be available.
So you've got ball, click box, numpad. It had 3 elements to it.
By the end of
you
March,
didn't have to
for
hold
about
it in your hand. You could just have it on the desk.
The CD-TV player comes with a MIDI port or musical instrument digital interface. The MIDI connection allows CD-TV
Dirty Dancing
users to manipulate digitally recorded music, much like a synthesizer. CD-TV will also play CD plus G, or compact disc plus graphics, a kind of MTV on CD. Eastman Kodak's contribution to the consumer CD market was, not
lovely spinning Kodak cube.
surprisingly, a compact disc for storing snapshots called the Photo CD. The CD-based storage system begins with a high-resolution 35mm film scanner.
That really is high, precise level of mouse work. This guy mouses for a living in a real heavy and hard way. You don't usually see that in the industry nowadays. The concept of a mouse glove kind of fell by the wayside in the mid-90s. Once the mass adoption of home computers and PCs really hit the high notes, the mouse glove was seen as something of an archaic way to handle your mouse. But this is obviously a mouse purist. Someone who has moused since the inception of the fucking mouse came into play. And he does it with a real remarkable aplomb. Let's have a look at him in action.
For sale to professional photo labs. Customers would bring their film for processing and get a CD.
And there, look, in with it again. It comes out of nowhere. It's a real sweet, sweet dream of a maneuver.
Get a CD transfer at the same time. Amateur photographers could archive their photos to CD until the disc has reached its capacity of 100 images. Like the audio version, the photo CD is not erasable once recorded. Kodak claims that its
not erasable
image compression technique can shrink the amount of storage space required by 2/3, down from 18 to 6 megabytes per image. The Kodak introduction was an early announcement.
Is that a Kodak jacket?
To say the least. Product
That's
will not
a nice, what would you say there, the reflection on that disc. I mean, I've never achieved that in reality when looking at the back of a CD. But that spectrum is very, very nice to see.
Be available until late 1992, but Kodak hopes the early introduction will give developers.
It's himself again. Old fucking Mihal Mouser.
Available until late 1990.
With his glove and the Casio back strap, back wrist wearer. He doesn't do things by the book. he does things against the book, and in some cases, the book has actually been ripped up and thrown out the fucking window by this guy.
Too, but Kodak
he
hopes
mouses
the early
hard.
introduction will give developers enough
And he discs hard as well.
lead time to
And he
provide the
deserves
application software.
Look at that. We're really getting a show here from this guy. It's a technological wonder. Incredible form. A true operator of the Sith. Full spectrum display, full spectrum CBD. Look at that.
Will give developers enough lead time to provide. The Kenwood Corporation was also playing the advanced preview game as it demonstrated a prototype CD write-once system designed for home use. The write-once recorder will produce CD audio discs for playback in any standard CD player. No price or release date was announced.
The Kenwood boys.
Finally, Sansui offered a solution to those CD owners whose CD audio libraries are getting just too big, a robot CD changer that can handle up to 5 discs at once.
And it's a lovely
robot CD
graphic there, robot changer, where the 2 O's in robot are CDs. The world's only mini system with built-in robot CD changer. Fucking brilliant stuff. It's probably like big shit at the time, you know. I used to have one of those change 3 CDs, and then I had a friend who had a 5 CD changer. Unbelievable stuff. And then MP3 came along, and that was all thrown in the bin.
Changer that can handle up to 5 discs at once. A robot arm moves discs from a storage well to the player as each selection is finished.
Yeah, loose word usage of the word robot indeed. It's just a mechanical arm, but it's a great action. And people loved robots. People are impressed by robots, you know. I did a stream about robots there a few months ago. I loved it, seeing all the robots. And I seen a video the other day of 2 robots engaged in hand-to-hand combat in a ring in China. Lots of Chinese people watching it, shouting them on, probably putting bets on it. It's coming down. It's like the AI stuff. You better keep your eye on it. It's gonna fucking catch you
$240
out.
changer
Before you
features
know
random
it,
play.
Before you know it, you're getting the fuck knocked out of you by a robot because you haven't kept abreast of the rapidly changing environment of robotics and technology.
16-track random access and 4-way repeat. Cycle time between discs is less than 3 seconds. As
That's such a fucking hard pose to go into there. Just that one. Just that one.
As laptop computers shrink in price and size, they've spawned a whole new category of even smaller electronic computing devices that actually fit in the palm of your hand. This Franklin Electronic Dictionary, for example, is essentially a portable reference book. But at this year's CES, we found a whole new generation of pocket-sized portables that offer a lot more than just words. This year's CES had plenty of big, splashy booths.
It's great. I mean, you've got the technology, the robots and all this, but you can't beat old school entertainment. Lads juggling clubs.
This year's
it's always gonna catch the eye and the attention of people.
CES had plenty of big, splashy booths.
When you can get robots that can do this, that's when I'll start to fucking take you seriously, you know? But it's not gonna happen. The dexterity and the accounting for the little maneuvers and the movements and things, it's too much for a robot to handle.
Enough to attract
Yet.
buyers' attention. Paradoxically, these oversized displays were often promoting the reduced.
Why don't people juggle anymore? Asked Darren. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, I think people just don't think it's cool anymore, you know? I think it's not the cool thing. People just, they've gone off it. It's all phones now, isn't it? It's just, look at this video I seen. Whereas you're going to be better off. You're much better equipped to engage in the public sphere and arena if you can juggle a few clubs. The phone, anyone can fucking show a video on a phone.
Dimensions of their smallest products. Franklin Computer introduced a palm-sized electronic version of the concise Columbia Encyclopedia, weighing less than 12 ounces. The handheld unit can search by keywords or by year, topic, or main idea. The search function will also cross-reference other related articles categorized by subjects, such as history, science, or the arts. The software can search by synonym as well. By typing novelists, for example, you'll also get a list of those described as authors and writers. The $400 encyclopedia features phonetic spelling correction, so the user can enter a term or proper name phonetically and still
not great.
Retrieve the
these things didn't take
subject
off.
And the proper spelling. Franklin also unveiled a Spanish-English translator with a voice chip for non-native speakers learning English. The Franklin Spanish Master uses recorded human speech to teach the proper pronunciation of a word in its entirety and phoneme by phoneme. The 7-ounce translator.
That was the audio they had for it. Rubbish. No wonder it didn't take off.
Of a word in its entirety and phoneme by phoneme. The 7-ounce translator also.
Thank you very much there, Dara. Could you make a little groove out of this episode? What tune would you suggest there? That's the thing.
Also provides sample English phrases and spelling correction in both Spanish and English. Spanish Master will be available in June for about $300.
Shush.
Franklin, which started out making Apple II and PC clones, now believes it has found the right approach to consumer electronics.
Franklin products, for example, are very affordable. Our products range from $30 to $300.
Are you going to play the second Metal Gear game? Oh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a real commitment, isn't it? I mean, it's obviously not. It's just a game. But I feel as though, even though graphically it's better and a leap up from the first one, and obviously all the story and Kojima and all that sort of stuff, I just thought that was the point in the series where it started to be too overindulgent. And but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll play it again and I'll actually rekindle the love for it, you know. But we'll just wait and see. The idea was maybe to play them before the third one comes out, the remake, Omega, Metal Gear Omega, is it? Or Alpha, or whatever Greek alphabet. That comes out in August, the end of August. So I was thinking, if that is going to be out and I'm playing that, it'd be better to have played those first two games before then, so... Bit of time yet. Metal Gear Delta.
There's a big difference between that and the more traditional computer range of 500 to thousands. A product has a difficult time becoming a true consumer electronics product at those lofty price points. So price has a lot to do with it, but so does design. The kind of guiding principles when we put together a user interface are really somewhat different than those at work in a PC. I think PC customers place a lot more emphasis on generality and options. The consumer wants a foolproof device that does the right thing the first time.
Palm-sized portables were
does the right thing the first time.
Utilities like a calculator and an alarm clock. The portable encyclopedia will be available in April for around $350.
Good luck.
For world travelers, Selectronics unveiled the Berlitz Travel Master, a translator with a voice chip containing 10 languages and 1,700 phrases.
Please be rubbish. Please be really low bitrate voice that is you can't understand it. It's unintelligible, please.
According to Selectronics, the Travel Master uses an advanced form of speech
It's like the T-Master.
compression to store digitally recorded human speech instead of the less natural sounding synthetic speech.
I have a reservation.
I have a reservation.
Natural sounding synthetic speech.
I have a reservation.
It sounds natural enough. Reservation. Brilliant Systems Limited.
As with many trade shows, you can find some of the most intriguing products in the most unassuming booths. At the Hong Kong pavilion, a number of small vendors were offering some compact products in some compact booths. A company called Brilliant System Limited introduced a Chinese English translator and dictionary containing over 200,000 words. The translator, model CK9000, also includes common...
Looks very, very easy to use, very intuitive and easy to use.
...idioms and phrases in both languages. The CK9000 will display both simplified and conventional Chinese characters, and a talking version is under development. The combination dictionary translator retails for about $150. At least 2 computer companies chose CES as the launching pad for some budget-priced laptop computers. Brother introduced a new category of laptop machine they called work organizers. Brother is eager to stress that the PowerNote laptop is neither a portable computer nor a pocket-type personal organizer, but a hybrid. The 5-pound PowerNote, about the size of a thick notebook, has built-in software. Instead of a DOS prompt, users get a menu listing the applications, an ASCII file transfer program for PCs, a text
dot matrix
book, calculator, alarm clock, calendar, spreadsheet, and an optional fax modem.
You wouldn't be fucking spreading much sheet on that. It's like a letterbox.
K of RAM and a proprietary 240K floppy disk drive. With its rechargeable battery, the laptop
spread your sheets and fly.
Brother expects to ship the PowerNote in April. The suggested retail price will be under $500. Laser Computer, once known for low-cost clones of the Apple II, unveiled a very slim IBM-compatible called the PC4. Like the Brother PowerNote, PC4 is more like a portable electronic notebook than a replacement for your desktop computer. It comes with a ROM-based software package suitable for travelers, including word processor and Lotus-compatible spreadsheet. For business people with a hectic schedule, there's an appointment book, telephone directory, alarm clock, and file transfer utilities. The PC4 is a true lightweight at under 2 pounds, and it comes with an expansion slot for custom applications. The PC4 IBM version sells for...
the fact that they could expand on these little products and really take them to town, push them to the limits of what you could do with them. Next, arcade games. Neo Geo. Is the stream dead? Please let me know if the stream is dead. But we are back. Okay, great stuff. Neo Geo.
It's got not just 1, but 6 different video games packed into a single console. Called Neo Geo, or New Land, this new multi-game video game system is the latest attraction from Japan's SNK Corporation. Each game cartridge operates off of a powerful 16-bit main microprocessor, and because it's got...
Is that the... Did she say MAME? M-A-M-E. Is that what that is?
Cartridge operates off of a powerful 16-bit main microprocessor, and because it's got 64 megabytes of ROM, each Neo Geo game has superior graphics, including 3D effects and sound capabilities. Arcade operators say because of the high quality and variety in games, Neo Geo attracts a second group of players besides the kids.
We're finding that not only appeals to the youngsters, but to the older players as well, because it has...
Thank you very much, Gavin Brown 90. The 90th edition of Gavin Brown. Thank you very much.
Things like golf.
It's not white, you're not blue, green, yellow, black, pink, or magenta. You're brown. Thank you very much, Gavin Brown.
In baseball, that if a parent is walking by and sees the game, they'll try it because they know what golf and baseball are all about, as opposed to walking
it was a
up to
hot environment inside that arcade in the CES of 1991 of, was it Las Vegas? It would have been very hot in there. And your man has a moist pate. Thank you very much, Nal, for the tip. Their first time catching a stream live. Spent the past 6 months watching all 500 plus of your previous streams. So man for one man. Thank you very much indeed, Nal, for the tip. Very, very kind of you.
Shoot 'em up type of game where they might not know where they're trying to get.
Fire alarm.
Walking by and sees the game, they'll...
This wasn't, no, Mark, this wasn't the summer show. This was the winter edition. Well, you can only imagine. They must have had the heating on full nally.
Try it because they know what golf and baseball are all about, as opposed to walking up to a shoot 'em up type of game where they might not know where they're trying to get to.
SNK has spruced up the video game console by adding a jack for headphones as well as a slot for a memory card.
You can
Jackson slots.
Stick that into the game at the end of your play, put it in there, and you can start from that point when you play it again. For those that have played video games, even at home, you know you have to go through many levels to reach the finish. And with this memory card, you can stick it in from the level that you started when you finished the last time.
That was a bit weird.
Stick it in from the level that you started when you finished the...
It was like somebody he'd made a double entendre when he said that risky turn of phrase, and then there was like a shriek in the background as well. I don't want to be going into that realm at this time of day. It's not that kind of thing. But it was coincidental, no?
Memory card, you can stick it in from the level that you started when you finished the last time.
The memory cards can also be used in the Neo Geo home units that have the same games as the arcades. That's a
serious golfers on display and selection. David Fuzuyama. We all know him, don't we? We all know Masashi Kurizaki as well. And what about Hubert Belger? No match for the powerful Jack Stadel.
a gimmick that's sure to boost sales. For the computer...
Look at his head! Fucking the stuff of nightmares there on Jack Stadel. Watch this.
Same games as the arcades. That's a gimmick that's sure to boost sales.
Fucking whiplash.
For the computer, same games as the arcades.
Meat, sweat, Metro. Thank you very much.
That's a gimmick that's sure to boost sales. For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Maria Gabriel.
Maria Gabriel. That's a name I don't remember.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Maria Gabriel.
The Genesis, the Mega Drive, the Nintendo, it's all coming up. Smack you. Oh, look at that. Is that Madden? I mean, you know, it's not John Madden himself, but maybe it is. It's something, someone's football. Are there any NFL heads out there that can tell us what that is? This console, it means a lot. When I just see that there, just this little piece here, and you knew that it was going to be good. It was better than the console you had at the time. Thank you very much there for the tip, Gavin Brown. Never a frown with Gavin Brown. Thank you very much for the tip there, Gavin Brown.
For people who grew up in the computer era, their first taste of digital technology was probably with a video game, a hugely successful invention.
Joe Montana.
That first made its appearance in the mid-70s. Since the first Pong game back in 1976, the industry boomed.
And the Sonic theme tune underneath the shots of Joe Montana's football.
And today's computer video games have become increasingly sophisticated and realistic. Nintendo now has the lion's share of the $5 billion video game.
The way your man jumped out there is exactly my sort of fucking feeling when I'm watching the show, and I often jump out onto the screen like that as well. You might have noticed that.
Nintendo now has the lion's share of the $5 billion video game market, but it has plenty of rivals who fight as hard as any screen-bound warrior. This year's CES showed the unmistakable impact of new computer technology on new game technology. Sega of America brought out
does
a
it
portable
all.
color system to compete directly with Nintendo.
What the hell is going on with this lanyard badge thing? That should be a lot further down, man. That's going to chafe and scratch the undercarriage of your chin, Jessup. Known as the gusset or the jowl puss. Trofer Pace, thank you very much for your tip. Hardware.
Nintendo's
but it's a great jumper. Who are these? The Jumper Brothers.
ubiquitous Game Boy. The Sega Game Gear fit them to compete directly with Nintendo's ubiquitous Game Boy. The Sega Game...
That was such a delivery on Game Boy. I haven't heard him say it like that before. It's a brand new Stu Game Boy moment. It's a big moment for me. It was a powerful moment for me.
Game Gear features Sega of America, ubiquitous Game Boy, ubiquitous Game Boy, ubiquitous Game Boy, ubiquitous Game Boy. The Sega Game Gear features a backlit, high-resolution 3-inch screen displaying up to 32 colors.
Didn't have the Game Gear, didn't have the Game... Had the Game Boy, didn't have the Game Gear. The Game Gear was better. It played Master System level graphical capability games. But it just wasn't as popular as the Game Boy.
Backlit, high-resolution 3-inch screen displaying up to 32 colors. Game Gear also offers stereo...
It could do... I don't believe that for a second there, Jake's saying it's Genesis games sometimes as well. Did it have that capability? It must have played the Genesis games at a much lower spec, no?
Sound, and the unit can be transformed into a television tuner with an adapter due out in the fall of this year. Sega will offer Game Gear versions of 2 new games, one featuring a well-known...
Castle of Illusion. That's actually... That looks like the that's the... the fucking Sega... Not the Master System, the... We've just seen it, the Genesis. That's the Genesis version of Castle of Illusion. The Mega Drive. I can't believe I've just forgot the fucking name. But it's confusing me because there's so many names floating around and I've just seen Genesis, even though I knew that it wasn't called the Genesis. Not in my realm.
Mouse, the other a less renowned hedgehog.
Less renowned hedgehog.
Well-known mouse, the other a less renowned hedgehog. Portable video games sell in quantities that would astonish any computer hardware maker. Over 40,000 Game Gears were sold in Japan within 2 days of its introduction. A month later, back orders exceeded 600,000 units. On this side of the Pacific, Sega plans to start shipping the Game Gear in April for a suggested price of about $160. Game cartridges will sell for about $30. Nintendo had some new games.
I mean, it's great, isn't it, when you get a section of the fucking episode that is just Game Boy and it's Stu doing the chatting on it as well. It's just a great moment. It's another great moment for me personally. I don't know about you, whether or not you care, but I love it.
For about $30. Nintendo had some new games and accessories on display, but the
Nintendo had some new games and accessories.
Nintendo had...
I wonder what accessories was it the magnifying glass thing that you put over it and it fucking lights it up as well.
Some new games and accessories on display, but the 16-bit Super Famicom, already for sale in Japan, was not among them. Inside the enormous Nintendo Pavilion, the company demonstrated its 4-player adapter, a set of cables that permits head-to-head competition among 4 players. The adapter sells for under $30. Nolan Bushnell, inventor of Pong, the first video game, predicts even more interaction between computer chips.
This guy invented Pong. Socrates here invented Pong. We were saying earlier on how he had a great presentational style. Stu just casually throws in.
Sells for under $30. Nolan Bushnell, inventor of Pong, the first...
So he is the... Nolan Bushnell is the granddaddy, maybe, of computer games. He made the first game.
Nintendo Game Boy.
Thank you very much there, Count Sacular.
Game Boy. video game.
What is Pong? Asked Niall. Only the most amazing game ever to have fucking happened. Look at that. This will be the next stream now. Do a fucking Pong stream. 8 hours of Pong. Sorry about that volume there. Wow. Wow. It's like watching fucking Alcaraz and Sinner yesterday. Brilliant stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have any time to watch any more of that.
Predicts even more interaction between computer chips and consumer electronics.
I believe that all of consumer electronics is in fact merging and becoming more computer-esque, if you would. You don't need to hit people over the head that there's a computer in it. What you really want to do is have the tool, have the computer be a tool for you, not necessarily have you go through a big training thing so that you can use your equipment. You want the computer to be smarter than you are and make it easier for you instead of have to train to operate this machine.
More from Vegas, Game Boy.
Handheld electronic games are no longer just for kids. For example, at this Sharper Image store, you can buy electronic games.
I just want to check there and make sure there's nobody, so I can really let loose on the end of the episode, you know. Yeah, we're all clear. It's pissing down outside.
Handheld electronic games are no longer just for kids. For example, at this Sharper Image store, you can buy this little electronic game that plays bridge with you, and there's another one that lets you play chess. In fact, they have an electronic chess game here that actually talks to you. Indeed, the trend in portable electronic games is to mix the practical with the whimsical. GameTech introduced software applications for the Nintendo Game Boy called Infogenius Productivity
Game
Packs.
Boy.
About all they have in common with video games is the hardware interface. The Infogenius
Video nails.
programs are more suitable for business travelers, tourists, and students than game fanatics. In spite of the toy-like appearance of
She got dreads. She's gone for a mix of dreads and non-dreaded hair, but it looks like it's just braids, and then it gets dready, very, very dready, dready Vedder. But I don't know, like, is that, what's the story there? This lady here in the background, powerful red blazer.
Infogenius programs are more suitable for business travelers, tourists, and students than game fanatics. In spite of the toy-like appearance of the Game Boy, GameTech is confident of its marketing ploy.
The reasoning behind it was that 46% of the
Powerful red blazer, it's Jill Goldworn.
One of the coolest new computer games.
Game Boy users are over 18 years of age, and they have had, as of yet, have had no software developed expressly for them. So Infogenius was developed to meet their needs, and there are over 5.5 million households which are developed to meet their needs. And
Nintendo Game Boy. Computer games.
Million households which currently own a Game Boy unit, and there are adults in each of those households with software needs.
Software needs. Yeah, I need my fucking software needs met. That's the
Game Boy
problem.
unit.
I'm not
and
having
there are
my
adults
software
in
needs
each of
met
those
on a
households
daily
with
basis.
software needs.
Nintendo's Game Boy. Infogenius unwrapped 5 packages at CES, including translators, a spell checker, a travel guide, and a personal organizer. Spanish and French translators each contain 300 phrases and over 12,000 words.
Okay.
The Infogenius Travel Guide contains hotel, restaurant, and tourist information on 20 American cities and includes an auto dialer. The personal organizer is a combination of point dialer,
Call 911.
restaurant, and tourist information.
What was that about there? Was that not look 911 and then what are these two buildings look? Fucking dangerous stuff, is it?
Information on 20 American cities and includes an auto dialer. The personal organizer is a combination appointment book, world time clock, calculator, and address book. The Infogenius packages will be available in September for around $40 each. In another sign of merging computer applications and consumer hardware, Software Toolworks demonstrated the Miracle Piano teaching system. The Nintendo-based music instructor uses graphics with a video game feel and a keyboard synthesizer. The Miracle system blends video game lessons with technology more common to computers, such as music notation software and a MIDI port. The system includes a software function that customizes lessons to the learning level of the student. Miracle Piano for Nintendo retails for about $350. The final leap to the PC platform is scheduled for later this year. Mac and Amiga versions are also
How
planned.
the fuck does that work out? So you're reading a musical notation stave, Jason Statham there, and ducks fly in at certain trajectories which would correspond with musical notes on the stave itself.
C platform is scheduled for later.
And is it just ducks? Like, or is there other stuff that drive, like, they'll go into this stave and then that'll make the noise of that? I mean, I'm not going to try it out. I'm not going to download this and try it out or anything like that. Maybe I will.
This year, Mac and Amiga versions are also planned. That's our look at this year's Consumer Electronics Show. In Las Vegas, I'm Stuart Chaffee for Computer Chronicles.
Look at this arch of wonderment inside the fucking CES hub. And you've got all the big names. Pioneer. Craig. All the big names. Next up, news. Random access. I hope it's Stu doing the news. The Stews. I don't want to say Janelle.
In the random access file this week, Hewlett-Packard.
It's Kate McGargy. The first time I've ever seen Kate McGargy or McGargy. And let's see how she does.
Packard has introduced the new Vectra 486-33T. HP says it is the most powerful personal computer ever, featuring a
What is this? Is this some kind of brooch? Or what? It is a strange place, a strange
33
shape.
megahertz 486 CPU. The base price for the 486-33T is $9,500, but HP says the new Vectra computer can take the place of several less powerful PCs. The Vectra 486 can reportedly run a network with 200 terminals and can handle
a piece of meat. Sakuba 2017. Thank you very much.
And 100 Unix users simultaneously. Panasonic has announced a new 34-pin dot matrix printer based on the popular KXP 1124 model. The new KXP 1124i still has a list price of about $500, but it has many new features, including a super letter quality font, a larger print buffer, and quieter operation. Taking a look at this week's top 10 software titles for the PC, PC Connection reports that TurboTax from Chipsoft is in the #1 position.
TurboTax. Andrew Tobias Tax Cut 1990. What a fucking title. Absolutely rinsed that when it came out. Many a night up until fucking 4 or 5 a.m. trying to get to the final level where you had a fucking square off spreadsheet tax head to head with Tobias himself. And boy, did he cut your tax. He'd fucking cut it in two. And what about Expanded Memory Manager 386?
Andrew Tobias's Tax Cut 1990 taxes in second. Third is Expanded Memory Manager, followed by Quicken.
The way she read that, cut taxes in second.
1990 taxes in second. Third position, with Andrew Tobias's Tax Cut 1990 taxes in second. Third is Expanded Memory.
Oh, in second place. I thought she was reading the tagline from the product that was like, we'll cut your tax bill in seconds. Forget it.
Manager, followed by Quicken. PC Tools Deluxe is in 5th place. Rounding out the top 10 PC titles are Managing Your Money, Entertainment Pack for Windows, Windows 3.0, Hijack 2.0, and Procom Plus. Next up, Paul Schindler in this week's software.
Schindler, you're back again. Paul Schindler, my computer friend. You look like John Virgo from The Big Break. You're Paul Schindler. Can't wait to see your face. Paul Schindler. Schindler.
Review. Next up, Paul Schindler and
I got a zapper.
This week's software review. Next up, Paul Schindler and this week's software review. Week's software review. You. You.
And the way Kate Magugu, whatever her fucking name is, she's got a cheeky look on her face before it even gets to John Virgo.
Schindler in this week's software review. You.
I got this. I got
chills multiplying. I got this at a toy store, but you can buy your own one for $39.99 by the brand new Zap configuration producer, Zap Brannigan Enterprises. They're producing 5 new Zaptronics this month, and I, for one, am very interested and intrigued at their lineup. Trying to do it as what he's about to say, you know, the way he really just goes full on into the product. He loves it. He loves the show. He's a man of the show.
Paul Schindler in this week's software review.
I got this from a computer company, and I just love it. If you're still the ray gun type, consider this dandy new arcade game, Sky Shadow, from the makers of the vastly popular Crystal Quest. Now, if I hadn't told you this was another product, you might have guessed from the sound effects. Just listen. Yes, that old...
Sounds like someone's being fucking done in or tortured or something.
Product from the same people, you might have guessed from the sound effects. Just listen. Yes, that old...
Sounds like someone's crying in pain for help.
Same people, you might have guessed from the sound effects. Just listen. Yes, that old sense of humor is back from the sound effects. Just listen. Yes, that old sense of humor is back in a new game. There's no deep philosophy, no fancy text. Just a simple shoot-'em-up arcade game. Well, actually, it isn't so simple. Some things you run into are good for you, and some are not.
I wonder does the entire game
Actually, it isn't so simple.
have
Some things
the
you run into are
title on it. Sky Shadow, Programming and Design by Patrick Buckland. Artwork by Brian Taylor.
Good for you, and some are not.
Oh, it's a demo. Running Sky Shadow demo.
These stars, for example, eat away at your shields. Lines are disastrous. Losing is an unambiguous experience. You get the cosmic raspberry. You get points for bombing, but not for bombing your own side. Just listen to the sound it makes when you eat a smiley face. Sky
They got a Cockney in for that one.
Side. Just listen to the sound it makes when you eat a smiley face. Sky Shadow is $50 from sound it makes when you eat a smiley face. Sky Shadow is $50 from Cassidy and Green in Carmel, California. For the Computer Chronicles.
Do the zap again. Do the zap again.
I'm Paul Schindler.
GCC Technologies has dropped the price of its laser printer to below $1,000. The company cut the price of its personal laser printer 2 from $13.99 to only $9.99. The PLP2 is a quick-draw laser printer designed to work with the Macintosh. It prints 4 pages per minute at a resolution of 300 dots per inch. And finally, a new weekly computer industry newsletter is trying to get the jump on competitors by delivering via email and fax. Computer Industry Week will prepare the week's news summary over the weekend and fax or email.
And by Byte Magazine and Bix.
Bix. Grand. I cleared it. I pre-cleared the woo. It's not going to incur any penalties against me. It's fine. And that's that one anyway. That's done. That's 3 over 3. It was meant to be a quick blast. Meant to be out of here. But usually I end the stream right on the woo, and I forgot to do that then. Which is a shame, you know, because it's nice to go out on a fucking woo. Wu-Tang Clan. What's the story now without the woo? I'm lost, you know. There's no solid outro. Unless I fucking go back again. What's that there? Is that another thing? I don't want to get caught out. CS95, but it's not Stew. It's not Stew. There's a quick pace there. Sorry about that.
On video CDs. This year, manufacturers are catering to America's ever-growing desire.
Wow, it's just like Stew, but it's not Stew.
To stay in the house. There are home theaters. There are home offices. And there are computers that will function as the household appliance center for the future.
People really are enamored with the possibility of using computers to answer their telephone, to send faxes to people, to place audio CDs.
And there's Bob, Microsoft's new program especially designed for the computer shy. It can teach the whole family to perform routine household chores like scheduling on the computer. A new car computer from Panasonic will help those who do venture out of the house.
It's showing us the best route and tells us that we're 16 miles from our destination.
Still, all the high-tech innovations haven't been able to displace one very low-tech concept, the convention itself. It's been an...
What was Bob? Was it the Bob that we saw earlier on? The same Bob? Or is it a different Bob?
The household appliance center for the future.
People really are enamored with the possibility of using computers to answer their telephone, to send faxes to people, to place audio CDs.
Load information. Here, manufacturers are catering to America's ever-growing desire to stay in the house. There are home theaters. There are home offices. And there are computers that will function as the household appliance center.
Thank you very much, Nick, for your kind-hearted and generous tip there. What else was there that I was thinking of fucking looking at? I can't even remember now. Although I did try to remix the Jeffrey Sachs Maltus. Let's see if there's any more Neil Oliver going there, just while I'm trying to get the Maltus going. A way of life is coming to an end. Have a little look here and see what we've got. Sorry, there's bear with me 1 second there. I try and get this Jeffrey Sachs thing on. It's a work in progress. I only started it there yesterday, but I need to get your opinion on where I take it from here, you know. Log out and then log in. Ba 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 da 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 ba ba da da ba 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 da 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 ba 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 da ba 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 da da. This isn't the Jeffrey Sachs thing. I'm just trying to fill time there while I'm loading that up. Ba 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 da 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 ba 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 da ba 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 da ba. Xanadu 2.0.
Game Boy.
Calling you from Scotland. I'm calling you from Scatman's world. If you wanna break free, you better listen to me. And we'll go out for tea for eternity. So this is the Sax Wave. Do I have Sax Wave going? If I have, then I will try and have that shown up on the thing. Maybe you can't do that. Put that there. Can you turn the fucking audio on it? You see there now. I don't know if that's going to be on too loud there now. Let me just see. And we plug our sound, do the sound out into this HD60 multi-output device. Hey, is that not coming through now? What the fuck? No, it's not coming through the main pipe. I'm trying to get the audio to come through the main pipe. It's not coming through the main pipe. Sound. Into the flange. This is a nightmare now. This is a fucking nightmare. I wonder if I save that. It's a real arse ways of doing things though, isn't it? I save it and then fucking put it onto the other profile. Save that 5, then what? Public folder, save shared folder. Hopefully it'll fucking save, you know? Hopefully it'll fucking save. Save that to your desktop there.
Strap on the boots and walk with...
As if... That, I mean, fair play to him though. But I mean, you're joking, man.
Greetings, wonderful people. Great to have you with me. God bless you, everyone. get ready to strap on the boots and walk with me along a primeval road to a place soaked in ancient history and dark emotions and light. Hopefully it's an offer and an invitation to contemplate more of the texture of what it is to be human and alive. Topics and experiences and feelings that maybe many people feel constrained from articulating. Anyway, I'm using ghosts and hauntings in this context very much as a primer.
A primer for what?
Conversation. So, as I say, episode 16, this one is about a very famous, probably, well, it's an overused word, but iconic chamber tombs, places of burial associated with the Neolithic in the deep southwest of England called Wayland's Smithy. But just before we venture into this incredible landscape, let me tell you, please, how you can help support the series. Go to patreon.com, that's what. Find me by name, sign up, part some cash. You become a member of the family, which grants early access to all content and exclusive access to a weekly question and answer session, amongst other things. You ask the questions, I answer them, and nothing's off the table. The details, the address, it's all down there somewhere. Okay, join me. I think a lot of people feel that a sense of guilt.
Sorry there,
maybe.
guys. I don't know if you're thinking this is bullshit. What's he doing? Just playing a video of Neil. But I'm trying to get the GarageBand to work properly, and it's not working properly, but it'll take me a minute. So please, if you have anything to say about how bad this is for a stream, please keep it to yourself. I don't want to be besmirched at this moment in time. But I do value your opinion and your presence. Don't for a second think I don't. Back to Neil. I mean, it is just nice to have him on in the background and doing his thing. That's a big screen, though, isn't it?
And that's not the only word, but a sense of guilt about what has happened to Britain. Well within the lifetime of somebody who's about my age, which is to say 58. I have said for a while in other places and on other platforms that I think Britain has been the target of a controlled demolition. I think what it is to be Britain and British has been dismantled down to the foundations. And I think even the foundations are being dug out and cast aside to leave nothing but a brownfield site ready for redevelopment as something else. You know, for the longest time, there will be a patch of dry land called, for cartographical purposes, the British Isles, that what it has been to be British for a long time is gone. And I think a lot of us are haunted.
I love these little pictures he puts in, look. A haunted
childhoods, and certainly say the Britain of our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents' childhood. So that's the wider tableau upon which I will begin to contemplate stories
my God,
that
man, this is a fucking nightmare.
Smithy.
It's an absolute nightmare what's going on here. Maybe I'll just wait. Yeah, fuck it. I've built it up so long now that I'll play the sax, the Jeffrey Sachs thing that I've come up with. And it just people... But then again, I don't care what... It's not the final piece. I was just wanting feedback, you know. I was wanting feedback on where to take it. What the hell is going wrong? I am aghast. Jeez. Maybe if I play it out the speakers, it's just not as good then as not playing it through the fucking mainframe, you know? Sound settings, multi-output device. Maybe that would do it. Go here to MIDI. MIDI.
with that idea of existential guilt at the forefront of our sad and sorry minds, regret, all the associated feelings. I'm obviously, I am in a process. I'm in the midst of mourning on my own account. I'm mourning still the loss of my dad 5 years ago, the loss of my mum a month and a half ago.
Yes, sorry about that. That was a bad note to be on there with Neil talking about that. I mean, the death of a parent, it's not nice. But listen to this fucking tune, man. It's quality. It's a bit loud. That was a bit loud. Bit of rumble on it. Yeah, we'll go back there again. So where do you think I could take this?
The long term is very good. I do believe that idea that came from Malthus. I do believe that idea that came from Malthus.
You hearing that? Because I want to know. When I'm hearing it from two separate speakers as well, so it's doubling over. But is it working? Oh, it's working for you. It's not like it doubled over. You're hearing it. More menace required. Let's just hear this anyway. See what did you think about this? I mean, maybe you can put that onto the screen as well.
The long term is very good. I do believe that idea that came from Malthus. I do believe that idea that came from Malthus.
We could be living in a time of abundance, a time of plenty for all, a time of peace. Imagine that. Imagine that. Jeffrey Sachs.
I do believe that idea that came from Malthus. I do believe
Jeffrey Sachs.
That idea that came from Malthus.
It breaks down there like bow wow 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 wow. Or maybe just end it there and then go completely on 180 degrees into a new thing entirely. That's a minute there, but it's a powerful minute. I'm wondering whether or not to expand on that and make that into a 3-minute club tune, or shall I do 3 minutes, or even try and go 10 minutes of different stuff. That's a lot to say. It's a lot to fucking say and do.
The long term is very good. I do believe that idea that came from Malthus. I do believe that idea that came from Malthus.
We could be living in a time of abundance,
just a few minutes
a time of plenty for all, a time of peace. Imagine that. Imagine that. Jeffrey Sachs.
I do believe that idea that came from Malthus. I do believe
Jeffrey Sachs.
That idea that came from Malthus.
Sorry about that. The mic was off. I was muted. It gets the thumbs up though, yeah? I mean, it's not, it's only just, it's a concept, it's a proof of concept sax wave. Jeffrey Sachs. And it's nice to get Neil in there as well. It was sad to hear that about what he was going through, you know? No matter what, where you were. It's not a nice thing, but Sachs though, you know? He's got a great voice as Jeffrey Sachs. And there he is, even in the browser window I had open there. He's belching away, look. What's he going on about there?
And onward, because it started with a voyage that was a little bit went awry and changed the world fundamentally.
The long term is very good.
And they say
I do believe.
How do you know that Christopher Columbus was an economist, by the way? He didn't know where he was going. He didn't know where he was when he got there, and it was all on a government grant. So this is par for the course. But the world became a European-led world with the.
So that's that anyway with the sax. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching there today. As for the sax wave, I'll get back to that. Maybe would it even? I thought about even streaming me trying to do the rest of the sax wave, but I realize how that is actually quite boring. You know, it's just looking at a fucking timeline of tunes. And also, I feel maybe I could be a little bit when there's people watching. I don't really think that is great because you don't take as many risks. But then again, you could get something different. You might end up taking a risk or go down a path that you didn't consider. Let me have my dinner. I can't say I'll be back on afterwards or the evening. But I look, we don't know what's going on at the moment. There's a lot of shit in flux. Shit is in flux. We'll talk to you later on anyway. And all the best. And good luck. And we'll see you. Good luck.
The long term is very good. I do believe that idea that came from Malthus. I do believe that idea that came from Malthus.
We could be living in a time of abundance, a time of plenty for all, a time of peace. Imagine that. Imagine that. Jeffrey Sachs.
I do believe